I think in total, I will be reading through around 44, 46-ish presentations. That's the ones that I counted before everything, with all the, nasty stuff taken out. By nasty stuff, I mean, like, links to videos that are not nice and links to photos that are not nice, but there weren't too many of those, so I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. Good job. Thank you for keeping it clean. Yippee. Also, the one thing is, like, there were like 1 or 2 presentations that were linked, but they weren't shared with me properly, and I requested access on the ones I could, but there was one that I couldn't really reach out to you on, so just letting you know, if you feel like it might be you, I apologize, but I tried to contact, but I didn't get any messages back. Anyway, we are going to start right away because I really want to get through these as many of these as possible. So this is the first one. A lot of you took this very seriously. I'm gonna let you know, you submitted PowerPoint presentations, you submitted videos, and this is yeah, I have no idea if this was made for the presentation night or if this was just a presentation for school, but it made me laugh a lot, so we're gonna be reading it. The effects of the Russian Revolution on Russian society. Yes, and my mods did clear everything, so this should be very cleared. Proper disclaimer, this presentation does not reflect my personal views. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. That's not of import. I am simply presenting chat's special interests. Okay, there we go. In the early 1900s, Russia was a total monarchy, run by Tsar Nicholas II, or as some people called him, Nicholas the Bloody. He was an ineffective leader, as his father, Tsar Alexander III, never taught him how to be one. Many people wanted him to be replaced with a better leader, while others, mainly radicals, wanted the end of monarchy altogether. Under Nicholas, life was brutal and ruthless. Some might argue that it was worse than life after the Russian Revolution. Oh my god, crazy. On May 31st, 1896, more than 500,000 people gathered on Kodinka Field in Moscow for ceremonies marking the Tsar's coronation. 150 stalls had been set up to distribute 400,000 free gifts to the people, a souvenir of the historic event. Unfortunately, rumors began to circulate that there was not enough beer or pretzels for everyone at the event, and due to this, the crowd became restless, and a stampede ensued. After the tragedy, Nicholas seemed quite indifferent to the event, as he appeared at a French grand ball on the evening of the same day. And this event earned him the nickname Nicholas the Bloody. I'd be frickin' pissed too. I don't want my pretzels and my beer. What the heck? I am livid. You are radicalizing me right now. Okay. The royal family themselves were not very liked among the Russian people. They each had their own controversies and rumors. Rasputin was not even related to the family, as Nicholas II was introduced to him by a bishop as a man of God. Rasputin was controversial in the fact that he was rumored to have been manipulating Nicholas II's wife, Alexandra. Oh my. Some rumors even claim that Rasputin had a sexual relationship with her at some point. But nonetheless, he healed Nicholas's son, Alexei, of his hemophilia by some unknown means. Okay. Serena Alexandra was the wife of Nicholas II, and she was German. When World War II rolled around, the public didn't like having a German being so close to the government. Many thought that she was a German sympathizer. Tsarevich Alexei was the son of Nicholas and Alexandra and was born with hemophilia. That meant that even the smallest of cuts could cause him to bleed to death. And many thought that because of this, he was unfit to take Nicholas's place should he die. When Russia entered World War I, the people were very clear that they didn't want war. They were already starving and in despair. But radical groups, like the Bolsheviks, thought that the war would bring an end to the Russian Empire. They were right. Nicholas II left Russia to become the general of the country during the war, leaving his German wife in charge, who was most likely being manipulated by Rasputin. The people obviously felt like they had been abandoned by him, so they revolted. And as Nicholas returned from the war, he was forced to abdicate the throne and give power to the people, ending more than 1,000 years of monarchy in Russia. He and his family would be moved constantly, never staying in the same place. But one night, they would be executed in the basement of one of their holding houses. Bah! After the February Revolution, Vladimir Lenin created a new government called the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the USSR. Lenin was not the leader for very long, as he died only a couple years after being in charge. But before he died, he wanted a strong leader to lead them. He didn't want Stalin to be put in charge because he thought Stalin was a dangerous person and would use his leadership to become a dictator. But nonetheless, Lenin's worst fears came to fruition when Stalin became leader of the USSR in the same year of his death. Basically, Stalin said this to Lenin: "Rip Bozo." His close friends and advisors often called him the Man of Steel due to his lack of emotion and his cold-heartedness. Some radicals viewed Stalin as a hero who saved Russia by implementing harsh rules and policies, but others view him as a tyrannical dictator who never should have come to power in the first place. In 1932, the area of Ukraine became increasingly more like its own country. But Stalin didn't want this, as he believed that Ukraine and other parts of the USSR should not become independent. So he devised a plan. He would create a 5-year plan that would tighten his grip around the USSR. The plan effectively made him the dictator of Russia, as he suppressed revolutionary ideas and destroyed political threats. But this plan would hit the hardest in the area of Ukraine. And thanks to the 5-year plan, Stalin controlled the growth of grain production in the country. He starved the Ukrainian people to death, and as many as 10.2 million people would die as a result of the famine. But the 5-year plan did more than starve people. They also created Stalin's secret police, known eventually as the KGB. He suppressed political dissent, revolutions, protests, and his form of dictatorship is often called Stalinism by historians. Ooh. This span of political repression is called the Great Terror, as many Russian citizens died and speaking out against the government or Stalin himself. They had no rights, were starving, and lived in fear of political repression. And eventually, he became the dictator. Wow. And basically, this is what happened after the revolution. Communism basically gives a brief description of what communism means. It's another name for extreme socialism, equality in everything, especially money and food. New governments in Eastern Europe formed that were all communist and all under Stalin's rule, and oppression was brutally suppressed. There was no freedom in... So, Allie, would you rather live in post-revolution Russia or pre-revolution Russia? You made this slideshow for your history class. I know you did! I can tell! But I read it anyway, because you know what? Why not? Because this is the spirit of PowerPoint presentation night, and if there's one thing I can applaud, it is multitasking and repurposing. I applaud you. Thank you for this presentation on the effects of Russian Revolution on Russian society. Very much to discuss. Anyway, what's the next presentation? Let's see. Oh, this is a completely different... This is a completely different direction. Why Ali should play Metal Gear Solid. And the YouTube editor would add like funk music after this. And get Metal Gear brain rot. Okay, fantastic. But what is Metal Gear Solid exactly? Metal Gear Solid is a series of stealth action games created by visionary game designer and Twitter film critic Hideo Kojima. Twitter film critic. The story explores politics, philosophy, war, and peace while delivering cinematic action and wink at the camera absurdity. You do not have to be good at stealth in order to enjoy these games. In fact, it's probably better if you're not. This is exactly why I haven't played Metal Gear Solid. It's been on my wanna stream games list for years, but I kept reading about how it's a good stealth, like a stealth game. So I kept thinking like, no, I'm not very good at stealth. I mean, you guys saw me play Hitman, and that was not very nice. So that's why I haven't really presented on it yet, or like, you know, played it yet. Yeah. Yes. But why should Ali join the brain rot? We've got hot women. Yatta! Hot men. Yatta! And cool giant robots. Okay, step aside, women, men. I want some of that tank cussy, if you know what I mean. Yeah. That gets my Metal Gear Solid. Why should Ali join the brain rot? We've got romance. We've got bisexuals. And we also have Hideo Kojima's barely disguised fetishes. Get those feet away from my stream. God damn it. Okay. This is very concise so far. It's a really well-made presentation. I like it. Why should Ali join the Brain Rot Part 2? Amazing art and design. That is very sexy. I do really like that art. Memes. And a blatant disregard for the fourth wall. I love it. Seriously though, these games are great. I think they contain just the right amount of drama, action, and humor that you'll love. If you want to give them a go, I suggest the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. It contains Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3, or the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out on August 28th. Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing on August 28th. Yatta! Amazing! Oh, I didn't mean for this to be so zoomed in. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh my god. There we go. Oh, jeepers. Ooh. Thanks, Ali. I am very convinced. Brilliant. I am convinced. Thank you, Pep. Nice and quick and very convincing. I like it. I like it. The ultimate lesbian Riz guide. What? Buy pancakes for bread. Okay, let's see. Ahem. Please. Please, please. Please, how many slides of this are there? Please. I think this is inhales. Please. I love how it zooms in. The text started. I don't think this is specifically a lesbian Riz guide. I think this is a Riz guide for everybody. Or remove that pop-up Don't worry. A lot of people have been messaging me being like, Ali, I tried to email your email, but it says the name like Alessandra. Who is that? Is that your real name? And it's like, no. I wouldn't put my fucking... My email is already public. My name is not Alessandra. I just used a different name so that Google didn't get mad at me. I'm fine. Alessandra K. Dragon, that's my name. Anyway, we need to move on. This is a very important presentation. Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. Oh my god. How many slides is this? I think it might actually be 100. It keeps getting more insensitive. Oh my god. Okay. There are 100 slides. But the last one is special. Okay, sure. Hold the phone. Did it work? Well, I definitely didn't expect that. Sure. Chat. This. Okay. I hope this was informative. I like to, even though it's called the Ultimate Lesbian Riz Guide. I think all of you should do this. As a lesson. Yeah, lesson learned. Thank you very much, Pancakes for Bread. Don't do that. Thank you so much. Yippee. This could also double as a boy/girlfriend application. You know what I was thinking? It looks exactly like when we did the boyfriend application stream. Except this one, this is probably, I don't know. This Thanks for the guide, Ali. However, I think I got something called a restraining order. Please. Disagree. Just try again. Let's see. What's the next slideshow? Thank you so much, Pancakes for Breakfast. Why I think Ali should listen to Weird Al's discography. Polka, I barely know her. Haha. Awesome. Now we're talking. Let's start with this weird self-titled album, Weird Al Yankovic. This album featured 6 original songs and parody songs such as Ricky, My Baloney, I Love Rocky Road, and another one, Rides the Bus. This debut album established his comedic musical style. Very nice. Next up, Weird Al in 3D. Holy, if you didn't get enough of him in 2D, he just made another dimension. This has 3 originals, 5 parodies, and a polka medley called Polkas on 45. Includes parodies like Eat It, a parody of Beat It, and I Lost on Jeopardy! It marked his first appearance on the Billboard 200 chart. Okay. And now, Dare to Be Stupid. This has no originals, but 4 parodies and an infamous polka named Hooked on Polkas. I don't really understand what the genre of polka is. Like, what does it sound like? Because I know, like, polka dots, but, like, what does the musical genre of polka sound like? I'm not sure I know. I should bring it up. But accordions. Okay, sure. Let's bring it up. Let's play some playful polka. Polka music. 80 minutes of polka. Oompa 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 oompa. I can't yodel. I tried, but I failed yodeling class. Oompa 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 oompa. I like it. I vibe with that. Thank you. I will be safe and not play the whole thing because I don't want that part to be removed for copyright infringement. But that was very informative. Now I know what polka is. Thank you very much. Okay. The album most people wanted, Polka Party. This had 2 originals, parodies, and one of the greatest Christmas songs ever, named Christmas at Ground Zero. Includes parodies such as Living with a Hernia, Addicted to Spuds, Here's Johnny, and Toothless People. Despite its title, the album received mixed reviews. The album someone's older sister loved, even worse. This had 2 originals, 5 parodies, and 4 songs that were style parodies. Features, this song's just 6 words long, I Think I'm a Clone Now, Lasagna, Fat, and Alimony. This title and cover art parody Michael Jackson's Bad. Okay. Soundtrack from Oof. This album had 3 originals, 4 parodies, and other stuff, so it seems like he does a lot of parodies. Okay, fair enough. I have to admit, I think I might have listened to like maybe one. Uff? Oof? Uff? UHF? Uff? Oof? I'm gonna say oof. I'm ready to jump off the deep. Oh my god. Oh, that is definitely an album cover of all time. Includes parodies like I Can't Watch This, The White Stuff, Taco Grande, The Plumbing Song, and Smells Like Nirvana. The White Stuff, sure, okay. The album that inspired Lollapalooza, Alapalooza. This album contains 3 originals, 4 parodies, and the greatest polka song about Queen called Bohemian Polka. Phenomenal. I like the Jurassic Park cover. Something I never have, a bad hair day. Ooh. 2 originals, 1 being the greatest of Christmas songs called The Night Santa Went Crazy, 5 parody songs called Amish Paradise, Coolio's Gangster Paradise, Cavity Search, Gump, Syndicated Ink, and Phony Calls. Is this just an entire discography? Something You Should Never Do, Running with Scissors. This album has 1 original, and it's the theme to his TV show along with 5 parodies, such as The Saga Begins, Pretty Fly for a Rabbi, Jerry Springer, It's All About the Pentiums, and Grapefruit Diet. Something None of Us Will Never Wear, A Poodle Hat. Speak for yourself, jeez. This song has 1 original song named Hardware Store, along with 5 parodies. He parodied Eminem. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. His greatest rap album. Oh my god. Canadian Idiot. Please don't get mad at me, Allie. It's the name of this song. I won't get mad at you. No. I love it. Light and nerdy. Trapped in the Drive-Thru, Do I Creep You Out? His 7th studio album, self-produced, Apocalypse. This has no originals but 5 parodies such as Perform This Way, TMZ, Party in the CIA, Another Tattoo, and Whatever You Like. And his latest album, Mandatory Fun. This is 5 parodies, Handy, Foil, Word Crimes, Inactive, and Tacky. Well, holy moly. Thank you so much for introducing Weird Al to me. Everybody so far has submitted something that I'm not familiar with, so I really appreciate it. And you kept it really concise. Thank you so much. You gave me the entire discography. Look at that. Look at all those eras. Phenomenal. Okay, let's see the next one. Uh-oh. 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 Why Allie should try out Gunpla. I've only built 1, but I don't actually know anything about it, so this will be useful. Wait! What the fuck is Gunpla? What the fuck is Gunpla? Glad you asked. Gunpla is a series of buildable plastic model kits based on the titular Mobile Suit Gundam anime. The word Gunpla is a portmanteau of Gundam Plamo, with Plamo itself being a short form of plastic model. So Gunpla stands for Gundam Plastic Model, with usually having the word kit added to the end due to its nature as a model kit. Let's get into why you, yes, you, Allie, should get into Gunpla. I love expensive plastic. It's gotta be my favorite kind of plastic. Let's go. Titular. I wish I could edit the presentation so I could highlight the word titular. It's effing fun. Gunpla is one of those hobbies where it's easy to understand and get into, making it boring at a glance. But despite this, Gunpla has a massive community that loves sharing their model kits. And you can even make customizations to your own kits, but we'll get into that soon. And they look so sexy. Look at that, they're so sexy, that's so cool. Wait, let me get my big ass head out of there. They're right there. They look so sexy, that's so cool. I love that. I really, really like that. That's really nice. Let me move myself a little there. There. Like, for what it's worth, I do understand the appeal. I do. My only big issue that has prevented me from getting more into it is I already have another expensive plastic hobby, and that's called Lego. It's easy to find. Depends, though. Now, most of your Gunpla shopping will be done online, but it really depends where you live. Most hobby shops might store Gunpla in the land of Freedom Eagles, USA, and that one place with all the Zaza and hailing lumberjacks. Lumberjacks, not yumberjacks, sorry. Is that your impression of Canada? Sure. Yumberjacks, sorry, it's Freudian slip. Whereas in Japan, they have Gunpla in 7-Elevens. Yes, this exists. And it can even be found in 7-Elevens in Japan, subject to availability. So fucking cool. I love the green. That looks so cool. It's like a Zaza Gunpla. And it's also somewhat cheap AF, which also depends. I like the disclaimer that all of these depend. Here's a little rundown of the meaning of each grade of Gunpla. Grade means levels or tiers of model kits based on their complexity, detail, size, and pricing. By the way, pricings can fluctuate, but I'll try to get their average price. These are the main ones you should know. Entry grade is easy to build and fun to handle for absolute beginners. Okay. High grade is more detailed and has more parts than entry grade, but it's still not too bad. Real grade. It's the size of a high grade with the detail and posability of a master grade. Older kits had pre-built inner frames called the MS joint. The MS joint was known for becoming really loose though, so avoid them. I like things that are fun to handle. Master grade. Bigger than entry grades, high grades, and real grades. High amount of detail. And perfect grades. Effing fantastic. Bigger than master grade and has an insane amount of detail. And then extra grades. Okay, so there's first grade, advanced grade. Okay. Interesting. Customization go brrrr. Yes, you can customize your own Gunpla, but it's not compulsory. All you really need are 2 nippers, one for cutting off of runner and the other for cutting off the nub. Okay, customizing your Gunpla can range from adding weapons from other compatible Gunpla kits to your... Customizing your Gunpla can range from adding weapons from other compatible Gunpla kits, to painting your own kits, to kit bashing. Kit bashing. Okay, kit bashing, combining multiple parts from other kits to make your own model kit. Okay. Nodders. The Gunpla community are full of people who love to customize them, so you can always ask for help related to the Gunpla kit you're building or use their kits for inspiration. Just remember to credit them. That is a very good point. And now it's all up to you. Gunpla shouldn't be a chore. It should feel enjoyable and chill. So now, whatever you choose, whether you want to get into Gunpla building or not, I'll leave the rest to you. Happy building! Yay! I unironically really like this presentation because it explained a lot of really basic information about what Gunpla is without feeling like it was babying me, you know what I mean? Like, I really like that it was straight to the point and just made with, like, a lot of good faith. Like, I've been wondering a lot of these things for a long time, but I never wanted to ask because I was scared of seeming stupid. So I'm really, really grateful for this. That's very well explained. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Let me exit. Next. Sleep! For the sleep bank! Oh my god! I love the little wobbling alley. It's so good. It's so good. Amazing. Okay, wait, hold on. I haven't been presenting these with the play buttons, but because this is a slideshow, I will present these with the this with the play button because one of them mentioned to me that it will benefit from it. Okay, hold on. Uh-oh. Don't start from there. Slideshow. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. So you're just telling me why I should sleep? But I already sleep. Wow. Whoa. Agenda. Sleep facts. Why sleep? Recommended sleep investment. Sleep debt problems. And how to increase sleep stonks. Yay. You've slept before, but do you? I think. Jury's still out on that one. First, silly sleep facts. Sleep is the best medicine. 2/3 of a cat's life is spent asleep. Oh, I already know that. My cat's asleep right now, right on top of my PC box. Within 5 minutes of waking up, 50% of your dream is forgotten. No! Humans are the only mammals that willingly delay sleep. Humans spend 1/3 of their life sleeping. Wow. But why should you sleep? Memory consolidation. It takes your short-term knowledge into long-term memories you'll count on later. But I don't like my memories. My short-term knowledge is stupid, so that's the reason why my long-term memories are even stupider. Good luck, Dormom. Immune system. Your NK cells wish to work their fullest in preventing illnesses. Okay. That makes sense. I've been having like headaches and stuff because I haven't been getting enough sleep. Deep sleep is required for the ATP to restore the body's main energy molecule. And body development. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormones that are essential for muscle repair and regeneration. I know. I know. I know. Get some sleep, bro. Okay, I will. Recommended sleep investment. Newborns need 14 to 17. All of the sleep benefits for their growth. 14 to 17 hours, I imagine. Young adults, 7 to 9. To function well and rebuild, recuperate 7 hours and up is normally suggested. If not, we generally adapt to getting less sleep over time, and thus sleep debt builds up. Okay. And seniors only need 7 to 8. Primarily, this is due to the fact that circadian rhythms have dramatically changed over the years, and several long-term lifestyles have shortened our perception of sleep. Okay. I see. sleep debt problems, fatigue, decreased work productivity, deficits in memory, mood effects, car accidents or occupational accident. Okay, be honest, chat. How much sleep do you get? How much sleep do you get, and how much sleep do you need to function without being a cranky person? 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 to 8. Okay. All of it? Sure. 3 hours today? Okay, we got some honest people in the chat. Usually 6.5 to 8, and I need that much. Very fair. Very fair. I do not want to tell you how much I sleep. I do not want to tell you how much I sleep. Physiologic. Possible insulin resistance. High blood pressure. Blunted immune response. And increased risk for heart disease. Keep that in mind. One-sided question. Okay, fine. I regularly get like around 6 or so. I'll get 6. Around 6. Yeah. Yeah. How do you increase sleep stocks? No napping, especially in the afternoon. But power naps are negotiable. How do you define a power nap? What if I want a power nap? I love napping. Nap time is my favorite time. Oh. This guy said, fuck napping. Adjust room temperature to under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. No caffeine. Limit blue light exposure. And take sleep supplements. Wanky favorite AFK Plus, melatonin, or magnesium. Or listen to Ali Sleep Aids. What the? Whoa. Part 2. Have good sleep posture. If you sleep on your side or stomach, it's recommended that you put a thin pillow on top or in between your legs. Or under your lower back to de-stress and prevent spine misalignment. Shit, I need to fix my posture right now. I need to fix my posture. Write down your thoughts before bed. Empty out your mind, write or vent it out. Don't toss and turn. And follow a sleep routine. Also wish your comrades good night because your heart will thank you. Understandable. Bonus slide on power naps. Feeling tired after work or in general, but don't want to knock out for long periods of time? A power nap is 30 minutes long, and they can improve alertness, energy, short-term memory, and my personal favorite, stress. You need to get that Ebenezer Scrooge sleep fit with a long shirt and the pointy hat. I used to sleep in something like that. It made me feel really stupid. Like, I see my friends with all their really pretty sleepwear and I dress like a fucking grandpa. Bonus slide. But how do you power nap? My honored method is this. Start by setting the stage. Elevate your legs slightly. And then relax the body. Toe to head. Lower your heart rate. Then you'll get knocked out. Just be sure your alarm wakes you up. Set multiple or phone a friend in advance to get you up. Yo! Whoa! Whoa! Summary. Sleep is great. It's our way of, forgive me, resting at a bonfire, progressing our character stats, getting rebooted, and escaping the monsters. My fellow Wankies, listen to your body's sleep state, rest well, and stay healthy. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think of just various video game cinema, and we got sources! Yay! He's not a sleep doctor, by the way. He's just a sleep enthusiast. What a nice guy for telling us that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Got sources. God damn. Good presentation. Why boss should play Ace Combat. Alrighty. Let's see this one. Oh shit, you can see all my tabs. You're gonna see what I was on Reddit looking up how do you present stuff. Oh, thank you, boss. Okay. Hehe. You can see the next presentations too. Oopsie. Thank you for the gift sub to naps are good for you. Very true. Okay, Chunky Wongy Bungy. Let's see what you're made of. Why boss should play Ace Combat. Okay. Arcadey gameplay. Complete disregard for the laws of physics. Unrealistic flight models. Weapons loadouts incompatible with reality. Like, seriously, no plane IRL can pack like 69 plus missiles, but you can here. But gun go pew pew, and missile go boom boom, and it tickles the lizard brain. That's all I needed to hear. Okay, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Yeah, I'm convinced. I'll play your game. I'll play your silly game. Melodramatic AF storyline. No, seriously, it adds to the charm. Troporific story. It has birthed many a meme. No real military would act like this, and you know what? That's okay. Cool planes. Duh. Plane goes zoom. Some of these planes don't even exist. And you get the F-22 eventually. Yay! Boom, 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 boom. Awesome. Boss battles for boss to fight. Fictional planes also means fictional super weapons. Wow! Yay! Scratches my urge to go boom. Bomb-ass music. No, seriously, the music is just that good. Everybody gangsta until the sky starts chanting in Latin. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's play these. Let me play some of these. That is a very sexy guitar, I agree. I haven't heard anything yet. Wait, what? We're listening to the whole song, dude. We're just gonna bang our heads to it. Oh, that scratch is a nice itch in my brain. Oh my god. This feels like edging. I just wanted to drop. Just drop! Okay, true. I don't want to go over the recommended time. I'm so sorry. I got overwhelmed. But this is 0 from Ace Combat 0. That was really good. I am convinced. Thank you so much for visiting. Thank you. Thank you. Woohoo. Okay. Next presentation. History of the Denver Nuggets. Amazing. Give me one quick second. I gotta make sure I'm not logged in on my school account. Okay. I'm good. Let me get my music back. Oh, I'm not. Oh wait, no. I don't even have a school account. I don't think I've ever used Canva in my life. Well, I have, but like not very long. Not very much. I mean. Okie dokie. This probably will be a longer stream just because I want to get through everything. The Denver Nuggets. They started in 1967 as the American Basketball Association, ABA, as the Denver Larks, named after the state bird. After being sold to Bill Ringsby and his son for $350,000, they were renamed the Denver Rockets, after Ringsby's company trucks, the Ringsby Rocket Truck Lines. Wait, but how did they end up being called Nuggets? Led by Byron Beck and Larry Jones, the Rockets had developed a strong fan base, though the team had a long history of early playoff exits. After signing Lonnie Wright of the AFL's Denver Broncos, he played 4 seasons with the team and became the first player to play both professional basketball and football. Damn, good for him. After signing Spencer Haywood, who was one of the first basketball players to go pro after graduating, he went on to average nearly 30 points and 20 rebounds. He went on to win the ABA MVP, ABA Rookie of the Year, and All-Star Game MVP. The Rockets finished with a 51-33 record, although lost in the second round. In the following season, Haywood signed with the Seattle Supersonics and the team stumbled to a 30-54 record, and fans started losing interest. Their final years in the ABA, the team was sold to Frank Goldberg and Bud Fisher in 1972. In 1974, in anticipation of the team moving to the NBA, the team had taken to change the team name, since Rockets was already taken by the Houston Rockets. The new name ended up being the Denver Nuggets, a nod to the Colorado Gold Rush, Gold Nuggets, and to the Denver Nuggets of the NBL from the 50s. Okay. After that, the logo changed to a miner discovering a basketball. That's so cute! Look at that guy, he's so happy. In 1975, the team had a record of 65-19, led by head coach Larry Brown, though they lost in the conference finals in 7 games to the Indiana Pacers. A year later, they made 1976 ABA Finals, but then they fell short against Julius Erving and the New York Nets. Moving to the NBA. 1976 ABA Finals, the ABA-NBA merger happened. Okay. That meant that the Denver Nuggets and a few other teams are now in the NBA. The team won 2 division titles in their first 2 seasons. In 1979, Larry Brown left the team, and their performance declined. Damn, that's crazy. In 1981, Doug Moe was hired as head coach, incorporating a motion offense philosophy, helping the team set the league record for the highest points per game, average at 126.5 points per game in 1982. Dang, that's crazy. I'm trying my best. On December 13, 1983, the Denver Nuggets and Detroit Pistons made history by scoring a combined 370 points in a single game. I see. Despite going to 6 overtimes and having home court advantage, the Nuggets lost 184 to 186. A roller coaster ride. It's so Jover. Oh my god. This is the full history, bro. From 1989 to 2003, the team went on an up-and-down ride. In 1990, Doug Moe left and Paul Westhead took his place. But with Alex English and Kiki Van de Weg declining due to aging and injury, the team had a record of 20-62. Damn. No wonder it's so Jover. Okay. After drafting Dikembe Mutombo, their record improved. Alright. Westhead was then fired before the 92 and 93 season, and then Dan Azel was hired. As well as drafting LaFonso Ellis and Bryant Stith, their record playoff improved to 36-46. The team also underwent a few rebrands since the 80s, going from a minor to simply being just the Mountains, with a red banner and the team name. I always found logo evolutions really interesting. Look at that. Look at all those rebrands. Oh my god, they even had a rainbow. That's so crazy. And then there was even more of a roller coaster ride. Okay, it seems like they were really picking stuff back up around the... Okay. Alright. I see. Oh my god. I'm learning! I don't know shit about basketball. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best. In the following season, the Nuggets acquired Antonio McDaisy in a draft day... McDice? In a draft day trade from the Clippers, who would go to be the new face of the franchise after Mutombo left in the 95-96 season. And Dale Ellis being out due to recurring leg and knee injuries, Jalen Rose being traded to Indiana for Mark Jackson, and Abdul Rauf being traded to Sacramento before the 96-97 season. Holy crackers. Holy crackers. But then they would slowly rebuild. Okay. Our savior number 15. The team mainly struggled due to instability, but after being bought by Stan Kroenke in July 2000, ensured its team would stay in Denver for at least 25 years. The Nuggets would finally catch a break come the 2003 NBA draft, drafting future Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony. That's the guy that helped them score the home runs and finish the basketball. Yeah. In the 05 to 06 season, the team won the division titles for the first time in 18 years, earning the 3rd seed. And then we got the superstar duo. We got Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson. And I think they scored 50 touchdowns. They had a 50-32 record, their first 50-win record since 87 to 88. Okay, so these two really hard carried. So we're so back, but then, one of them got traded. It's so Jover though, but it seems like it isn't Jover because they started winning a lot and stuff. But who needs Melo anyway? Oh my god, they turned against their main boy. That's so crazy. How dare they? A new era. Okay. And then... that's a lot of names. Yes. I didn't realize how often these teams change. I feel like every slide there's like a new bunch of names. It's kind of crazy. Welcome, Joker. Okay. I see. New look for the Nuggets. And then they have rings. I didn't know that they had rings in basketball. And then the future. With their first ring under their belt, they had nowhere to go but up. And it seems like they're doing really well in the latest seasons. And that's everything so far. I had fun making this, so I hope you had fun going over it. If you're not convinced yet to be a Nuggets fan, consider that we have generational talent, we are chill and welcoming, Colorado is a beautiful place, and basketball is a cool sport. Yippee! Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do not know enough about basketball to have a team preference, but thank you for presenting. Presentation on video game development. Yatta. Let's go. Oh, this one has some slideshow stuff. So I'm going to play it right now. Yes. Okay, I like the snazziness of it. The neon really, really works. Booyah. Why game development is my hobby. It's relaxing, satisfying, like working on a jigsaw puzzle piece by piece. I throw in some music or other background noise and I start working away. Game development for me is about making an interactive story. Like a movie that the player gets to be a part of. Yeah, that's how I always felt when I played video games. I like treating them like like films that you play through. It's probably why it's called a video game. It doesn't always have to be a story. Games can just be for fun, with no real meaning. And this is why you should consider it. Have you ever wanted to tell a story? Ever had a dream? You know, I think I have had dreams before. Or just simply wanted to make something cool? Well, you can. Anything you want to make, you can make it. Either you want to share with the world, a few friends, or just make something for yourself. You can do it all. And I really mean it all. Action, adventure, platformer, horror, cute pixel art, dating sims, VNs, and endless other options. Okay, so what if I want to make an action, adventure, platformer, horror with cute pixel art and a dating sim mechanic that also is occasionally a visual novel? What about that? Can I do that? Yes. Here's some pros and cons of game development. You can make anything you want. Here's a con of game development. You can make anything you want. When things start coming together, it's very satisfying. And it can be done at your own pace since you're not working for anyone. Yeah, sure. Cons, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It takes a lot of time and debugging is a pain in the ass. Okay, fair enough. And in conclusion, I love game development because it gives you endless possibilities to create any type of game you want. You can tell any story you want, any genre, and any gameplay mechanic. There will always be help for you through tutorials, and when it comes together and things start working, it is one of the most rewarding feelings ever. In the end, it's about making something unique to you and sharing it. Oh, there's one more slide! Also, I made this on Unreal Engine to convince you! Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me pause my music. Okay. Holy shit! Oh. Oh. Yippee! Crazy. Thank you for your presentation. I have a lot of appreciation for game dev. I do. I really do. So I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now let's scroll through the next presentations. I have been trying to keep track of time, but I also want to be respectful, so it's a bit of a oh no, not again. No. Okay, fine. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Because I know you haven't seen all of it, spoiler free. The story. It is absolutely amazing. It's like Avatar The Last Airbender. In Gravity Falls, had a baby, then Game of Thrones, and better ending adopted that baby. Wait, what? Hold on. So it's like Avatar The Last Airbender, Gravity Falls had a baby, then Game of Thrones, and better ending adopted that baby? Wait, so which parts of Avatar and Gravity Falls? And so they gave birth to so Avatar and Gravity Falls gave birth to Game of Thrones? Sure. Okay. Season 1 was the roller coaster introducing you to the world, and it makes you ask questions, and it adds more weight to the story and to the side characters in Season 2, with more twists and turns than A River. Season 3 Part 1 turns into a political thriller, like Captain America the Winter Soldier, and Season 3 Part 2 is the culmination of everything we built up to that point, and then Season 4 turns everything on its head. And the whole series has bigger plot twists than Darth Vader being Luke's father. Everything gets explained and makes sense within the lore, and there are very little plot holes. Interesting. The music is incredible, and not just the openings, but the background too. I can play a lot of the tracks and be able to tell what scene they were from. But okay. You see Big Girl, Zero Eclipse, call your name, Baklotse, the list goes on. Okay, I see. All the waifus. Look at the waifus. Key smashing. I see. Yes, there are very pretty anime women in I almost said Game of Thrones. In Attack on Titan. Yes, okay. Captain Levi, just Levi. He's the most badass Beyblading spinning short king ever. He can solo anybody, and I don't need to say any more about him. I want to be this man, and I want his combat skills, even if it's impossible to do so. My personal experience with AOT, when the show was first airing, I watched season 1 a bit late, but it was very popular. The second anime I ever watched. I watched all of season 2 when it aired, then I watched season 3 episode 1. Okay. So you regret not watching it all the way, and that's the reason why you want to convince me to watch it. I see. I was really into season 1 when it released, like in 2013, and then I just didn't really, watch it after that. I will give you a point for not choosing Art of Levi with Mpreg, because I was kind of half expecting that. But thank you for your presentation. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see what is next. My hobby presentation by Noise Gamer. I see. Is this gonna be about cars? That is also something I don't know about. I will see. Okay. Right now, I am creating a story and hopefully I can get it animated, but there is one hobby that I want to endorse to you. Being a car enthusiast. Alright. Why you should be a car enthusiast. Okay. Watching it, we got a lot of motorsports that'll have you excited or tense. Excited in what way? F1, WRC, 24 Hours of Le Mans, and even Demolition Derby if you want destruction. And not to mention anime and movies. As well as earlier Fast and the Furious films that you probably already watched, but hey, I'm recommending it anyway. Also look at this cute video. Okay. Oh, I need to present it. Hold on. I need to present it. Let me be really careful. These Canva presentations are the scariest ones for me. View. Can I view? Where do I view it? No, it doesn't play the video. How does it play the video? Hold on. Am I too much of a boomer to get this figured out? It doesn't play the video. God damn it. It's so over. It's fine. I will imitate the video for you. Okay, there's your video. This is why you should be a car enthusiast. Gaming, you may ask? We've got a lot of car games that can get you glued to the screen for hours. Okay, but what if I'm bad at driving? What if I'm bad at driving? What if that ruins the gaming experience for me? Skill issue, get good. But what if I want to be a bad driver and ruin things for people? Look no for hell, if you ever want to play GTA 5, trust me, going on joyrides is probably one of the best experiences that the game has to offer. I tried driving in GTA 5 and it was a nightmare. Okay. Remember that Gundam model you built? Yeah, if you like doing that, there are lots of models out there, whether it's Lego or other brands. I do agree, Lego car building is really fun. Here is an example. Yeah, look, it's real sexy looking. I like it. You have a serious craving for fashion or customization? Car culture has a lot of personalities. These are my personal favorites. I can definitely see a trend in the ones that you like. JDM tuners, track build, and a wide body. He likes them thick, bro. Okay, I see the appeal. Why you should be a car enthusiast. Of course, being a car enthusiast doesn't mean you need to have a car. It's about the passion and eagerness to learn. Although, remember what I said about that being a car enthusiast is basically liking cars? Well, that's just the first stage. At first, cars may not seem like much, but to people like me, we have an unshakable belief that cars are living entities. You can have a relationship, a connection with a car. Okay, hold on. What do you mean by that? Because I will not. Okay. Anyway, okay. I think what I'm thinking of is because you have to be very careful with how you word this. This is my feedback for you. You have to be very careful with how you word this because there are multiple videos out there of like people falling in love with their cars. They made a My Strange Addiction episode about it. So you gotta be very, very careful. You gotta be very careful. I am very convinced that you're a car enthusiast though. You write with such fervor and passion. Music, girl, have you ever heard of Eurobeat? If not, don't bother. The AMV next slide will show you, and if yes, I humbly ask to still watch the video. But Canva can't play videos! It's so over! It's so fucking over! I tried expanding it, but it's so over. But I will imitate car music for you. Eurobeat. Dun 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 dun. No, that's not Eurobeat. I don't know how the fuck Eurobeat sounds like. I'm sorry. I can't watch. The videos don't work for me. Thank you for viewing. This is my hobby. Thanks for seeing my Okay, all right. Let's not do that. Anyway, thank you. I will watch the next video. But before that, can I screen some of these presentations a little bit more? Because I screened them before stream, but they seemed fine. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I did have my mods screen these, and so far, like my mods did a very thorough screening, and everybody said that they were fine. Everybody said that they were fine. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this one looks good. All right. There is a very, very, very varied mix of hobbies so far, so I can appreciate that. One word of advice I will give you, if you're making a PowerPoint presentation, you shouldn't write paragraphs. You should write bullet points because it can be difficult to read sometimes. Just a pro tip. Oh my god, people made videos. I'm so excited for the videos. Hold on, writing. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, when you make PowerPoint presentations, the key isn't to get as much information as possible. The key is to, treat the audience like a layman. Because, otherwise it's a little hard. You have to ease them into it, you know? Like, they won't be able to take it all in at first, but over time, when they train with it, when you ease them into it, they'll be able to get to a level that you're probably satisfied with. I'm going insane. Let's see. Oh my god. Alright, wait, no, I'm sorry. I have to present on this because I have... The Excel spreadsheet said that this was a presentation on me. And as an expert on me, I need to know that this is accurate. So I will be screening this today. My presentation by Papa November. My presentation is about my friend Allie. She is a Drek. Allie is big and strong, but she is nice to me. She calls me a wanky, funny friend. Yippee! She can breathe. Wait, how did you do that? How did you make her spit blood? It's fire! Yatta! Sometimes Allie is a girl and not a dragon. IDKY, but it is okay. Girls are icky, but Allie is cool. It got rid of the dumb line. Let's go. Phenomenal. This is unironically not that bad of a stick drawing of Allie, and I also like that the fire is this color, this design. It is very, very nice. Allie plays video games and she is good at them. Proceeds to give an example of the worst possible gaming moment in gaming history. Listen, for context, I played Game of Sisyphus for 4 hours straight. And rolling it up a mountain, I'm not gonna lie, it was bad. It was really bad. I didn't make it past the first level, and I've spent 4 hours on that fucking game. It was really bad. Allie makes audios where she is a pirate or a punk or a nurse or a nerd. They make me sleepy in a good way. Sometimes she gives kisses, but don't tell YouTube because they get mad. With a drawing of Allie as a pirate. Yatta! In conclusion, Allie is a friend and she is a dragon and she is cool. She streams on twitch.tv/Alekirser. You should watch her. And she will be your friend too. You have to be 18, but that is okay because I am more than that. This is an extra slide. I had to get rid of it. Sorry, bye! Yay! Thank you so much for convincing me. I think maybe I will watch Alekirser for 1 minute at some point in the future. Maybe. I appreciate this. Thank you. Absolute cinema. Yatta. I'm reconsidering my sub. What do you mean? Thank you for the gift subs, Papa November. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Nice gifts. Yay! I think this is what I'm gonna use as a reference for the Ali dragon model in the future. Phenomenal. Let's see. Why you should get into mechanical keyboards. No, not literally. Why not literally? The point of this is to get me into... Written by some guy that spends way too much time on them, Jarek. Keyboards are a form of self-expression. Do you have a character or waifu or interest that you love? You can get keycaps and show them off. Tiramisu. Ayaka from Genshin Impact. Firefly from Honkai Star Rail. Want your setup to have a certain vibe? You can customize your keyboard to match. These look phenomenal, by the way. These look great. These look really great. Not too difficult to get into as a beginner. You'll see a lot of keyboard mods and customizations, but you don't need to go that far to get started or get what you want out of your keyboard. You don't even need to know how to solder. You can use a hot swap keyboard that lets you change the switches without disassembling it. Starting small and changing the switches and keycaps can go a long way towards getting it to look, feel, and sound how you want it to. Wow. So you don't need to know how to solder. But that makes me look like a cool girl, so I want to learn how to solder. Solder, 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 soldier, solder, 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 soldier, solder, solder, soldier, solder. I am smart. I went to college. It doesn't need to be an expensive hobby. While there are expensive keyboards and parts out there, you don't need them to get started or make the right keyboard for yourself. A budget board for around $50 to $80 can go a long way, and even cheaper ones if you learn how to mod them and bring them up to par with more expensive boards. You can also iterate on a keyboard over time instead of buying all the parts at once, and that way you can feel the difference with each change that you make. No, that's cute. Plenty of ways to customize a keyboard. Once you're comfortable tinkering with it, you can start looking into mods or custom keycaps for them and dive super deep into the hobby. But it's not required by any means. You don't need to listen to all of the elitism around keyboards and switches. Do what you want and make it yours. All that matters at the end of the day is that you like it. You're the one that's using it after all. That's so true. You could even make a custom keycap set named after your ocean. Arrow keys are killing me. This must have taken a while. I appreciate the effort that went into Did you like It can also be relaxing. Changing the switches and keycaps on a mechanical keyboard can be repetitive, as are changing springs or lubing switches as seen below. This makes it a good time to listen to music and take your mind off things. Thank you for the 7 months, Jarek. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the tier 3. Thank you so much. This does look really relaxing. Damn. Also, I like your mouse pad. It's very nice. It can also be a great gift. Wait, that's so true. That's so true. I think I should get one for my brother. That'd be really nice. A keyboard can be one-of-a-kind gift for somebody, and you can customize it to suit their aesthetic and functional needs. It's a great gift, to be honest, especially if it's customizable. I've built keyboards for my friends over the years to get them into the hobby, and they still tinker with them and use them to this day. That's so nice of you. And it is a great way to get them into the hobby. This is a great idea. Thank you for coming to my Keeb Talk. Have some boobies for your time. Yes, this was done on a mechanical keyboard. Here are the boards that I currently have on hand. Pretty. I like this one. I like this one a lot. And I also like this one. I like the little knobs and the little screen. That looks really good. That's really nice. The knobs. Knob. I want my keyboard to look like that. I want the boobies on my keyboard. Yay! And we have a credits list. Alekirser for presenting, thank you. Royal keycaps for the Rayquaza keycap image. Jarek for the keyboard, switching keycap image. Six and Doshi for some of the emotes. Okay. I don't know who to credit for the rest, but the emotes I would if I could. And here's some different sound profiles, and this is what a creamy keyboard can sound like. Oh, I need to click that. I think I kept this presentation within the time limit, so I think I have a little bit of time. That's creamy. Ah. That's clacky. That's thocky. I think I like creamy and thocky. That's really nice. I really like that. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's the next presentation? Alright, Heaven's Design Team. This is an anime. Sure, I'll give it a shot. Oopsie. Boop, boop, boop. Ow. Ah, sorry. Jump scare. My bad. I'm sorry. You thought those keyboard pops sounded like sexy pop rocks? I agree. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wow. Heaven Design Team. Almost everyone is familiar with the story of how God created the planet along with every creature, but what if that's not the entire story? It is a comedy, educational anime based on the manga of the same name. It centers around a design team tasked by God to create the animals who would inhabit the earth. As in God's own words, it became too tedious. Huh. Oh, that's cute. So they're just designing the animals and shit. Each episode follows a team as they try to fulfill God's requests, often leading to hilarity and hijinks. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What's she doing? The show consists of 1 season and 13 episodes, only available in subbed at the time of creating this PowerPoint. Each episode is comprised of 3 segments, focusing on either requests from God or the day-to-day operations of the team. Following each segment is a small, informative snippet featuring 2 chibi versions of the main characters, giving factual information of one of the featured animals in the previous segment. Okay, but who is that? Who are you? Who are you? I do think it's really cute that they have a National Geographic section for the animals that they designed. It's very cute. Why I recommend this. It's the perfect blend of comedy and education. They have distinct personalities and work well off each other. The entire season can be finished within a few hours. It holds educational without making it sound boring or bland. And the opening theme is a fun listen. Here are some examples of the segments within the show. Okay, Venus, the designer known for making birds and beautiful things, is tasked with making an ugly bird, much to her chagrin. I'm guessing this is Venus. Oh, she's Mars. Okay, she's Mars. She's an engineer that creates the prototypes. Okay. Nice. A competition is held between the designers to make a mascot for Hell. Saturn, the oldest member, is obsessed with horses and tries to make unicorns exist. And Shimoda, the angel correspondent for God, is used as a guinea pig for testing the capabilities of a new species of predator. That's kind of insane. I mean, you know what? It's concise. The waifus look cute. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Let's see what else we've got here. Thank you for the presentation. Boop 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 boop. What's the next one? Tabletop wargaming. Oh no! Oh no! A tabletop gamer! A brief overview of tabletop wargaming, as well as my 100% opinions on the factions of 40k. Sorry if this upsets anyone, it's meant to be silly and making fun of myself. Thank you, Hunter. What is tabletop wargaming? It's playing with little plastic men, like children, but for a... My cat yanked out my mic cord. My cat yanked out my cord. It's like... Okay, let's try it again. It's playing with little plastic men, like children, but for adults. Also, it's 60% gambling, 40% skill. Generally, you take 2 people, including yourself. Yes, you need a friend. Man, you had me sold until you said I needed a friend. You and this friend will sit down and read rules, or not. Normally, these rules say to create an army for the game, so you make an army. Then move some plastic dudes around a table, roll some die, have some fun, then pack up and go home. Here's some pros. You have fun. You can meet some friends, meet new people, buy cool models, and gamble. Oh, God. I can't say that word on Twitch, I don't think. Cons of getting into wargaming. More expensive and addictive than a crack cocaine habit. Allie will require supervision with a sharp blade and super glue. Oh. Allie will require supervision with a sharp blade and super glue. Okay. The wargaming pipeline. Theoretical pipeline. Buy minis. Paint minis. Play game. Actual pipeline. Buy minis. Get bored part of the way through painting. Buy more minis. Sell kidney for minis. Play games. Buy more minis. Realize you have a growing pile of gray plastic that needs painting. Buy minis. Regret life choices. Buy minis. Discover cool thing and go do that instead. Come back 2 years and finally paint your minis. Disclaimer, the rest of this presentation will cover the 100% biased and unendorsed opinions of the Hunter 1503 on the factions of 40k. 40k is not my favorite wargame, nor was it my first wargame, but Battletech is too autistic to explain without 3 to 50 hours of floor videos. The primary positive to Warhammer 40k is that it is such a large game that most people mow bits and pieces. Okay. Am I gonna get people mad? These are not my opinions. These are this guy's opinions. Okay, first off, let's cover the main guy, the big knob, the golden loser. Brian from Monty Python's Life of Brian. Brian is also known as the God Emperor of Humanity, but humanity is a fascist regime and feeds 10,000 people a day to a skeleton on a chair, so he kinda sucks. Brain also has many children and different flavors of whiny little bitch. This is the new God Empress of Humanity. Thank you. Primary child of Brain, Robert Gorilla Man. He's doing the segs with an elf. Daddy said no sexing with elves, but Gorilla Man does it anyway. He is the head of the Blue Ken Dolls. I refuse to believe Space Marines have genitals. Then we have various other flavors of Ken Dolls, including green, yellow, black, white, and more. Tyranids, space bugs. Cool as fuck. They eat everything. Biomass is biomass. Shameless excuse to show off my minis. Finally painted after 2 years. Adeptus Mechanicus. Tech boys on Mars. They fuck toasters. They like AI. They worship Robo-Jesus, who for convenience is Brian. Another excuse to show off my painting. From this point forth, I am too tired and want to sleep, therefore low quality. Adeptus Sororitas, Muscle Mommy, Booba, Farmers... You should have started with this! Start with this! Leave with this! There you go! Muscle Mommy, Booba, Flamers and armor and cool stuff. Please don't put them in a jar. Orcs, da boys! Shoot us blood and teeth. British, like to fight, on mushrooms, have the power of belief. Corn, god of cereal, also blood and murder. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne, milk for the cornflakes. Nurgle, plague daddy, god of disease and shit. Slanesh, god of sex, drugs, rock and roll. Wait. Somebody told me to do a Slanesh audio. Sinch, god of magic. Eldari and Drukari, space elves. Some edgy, some not. Necrons, old metal Egyptian-esque skeletons. Astra Militarium, generic space soldier dudes. Gene stealer cults. Some people like the bugs too much. Leagues of Votan, space dwarves. Tau, bullshit and don't deserve an im. Oh no. Is that a strong opinion to have? Because I think that's gonna get the Gundam players mad. Because I know about the Taos. And I think, I see, they're like they're robo guys, right? Astra Militarum and Gene Stealer cults. Sorry this was too long. I had to ensure I irritated as many 40k players as possible. I may be a member of the Gene Stealer cults, but I am also an agent of chaos, teehee. If I vanish, then Games Workshop hit squads have got me. Arm yourselves and prepare, for they are coming. Congratulations for this very silly information about Warhammer. Thank you. This was very funny. Thank you so much. Clappers in the chat. So I have a hobby. Meet my children. Ooh! That looks so cool. That looks so cool. You have a cool hobby, bro. Music has been a major part of my life for as long as I can remember. From singing in choirs and quartets to playing in band, it's always been a large part of my life. It's also not a problem. It's a lifestyle. I plan on getting an alto sax later this year to add to my collection. Oh, wait. Dang. You just play everything, don't ya? You're just an overachiever, aren't ya? And if you're wondering, yes, I can play all of these. I have the least experience in violin, though. Bonus points if you can guess what instrument I learned first. I'm willing to bet that violin was your first instrument. You got, like, you got a little disillusioned with it, and then you got back into it. That's my guess. I could be wrong. You think it's the clarinet because it's the nicest one there? Fair enough. You guys probably know better than me. But if we were given a task, so let's lock into just one instrument to talk about. This is the Ooh! This is a melodica. It's basically like a silly little piano that you blow in. It combines the advantages of a wind instrument with the versatility of a piano key accordion. It is for now the silliest instrument I own, until I buy an automaton, and it is one of the most fun. It does look fun. Pros, very portable. Dynamic range due to breath influence. Versatile playing styles. Polyphony, chords and harmonies. Great for memes. Cons, you will want to take it everywhere, and there's literally nothing that can stop you. Wait, I gotta play this video, so I'm gonna go to presentation mode real quick. We gotta play the video, bro. Holy. No! I thought I had permission. I requested. No, it's so over. Oh wait, I need permission to play this file too. God damn it. No, I'm requesting access anyway. Fuck it. We ball. Honestly, that's it, really. Okie dokie. Well, it was a really cute presentation. I liked it a lot. I really wish that I can't enjoy the tones. I don't have. I got denied. And she's sure to support our streamer. She needs it. I requested access because I want to hear the tunes, bro. I want to hear the tunes. But for now, we will move on to the next presentation. Oh my god. Let's see. What is next? The art of doom scrolling. Let's see what this turns out as. What is doom scrolling? As Urban Dictionary puts it, when you keep scrolling through all of your social media feeds, looking for the most recent upsetting news about the latest catastrophe. The amount of time spent doing this is directly proportional to how much worse you're gonna feel after you're done. In simpler terms, it is obsessively reading social media posts about how utterly fucked we are. This is why you should make this your hobby. Personally, I like to stay informed about what happens on our planet, so I doom scroll for the news. And sadly, the news lately hasn't been the best, so you tend to mostly find the negatives on the internet. If you like to stay informed by scrolling social media, it seems like you already doom scroll. If you don't, I recommend doing it for one reason and one reason only. This is because doom scrolling is essentially gambling. Do you guys think I'm a gambler or something? Is it because of the one shit post that I recorded? Oh my god. You may be asking, how is doom scrolling like gambling? Simple. Like I mentioned earlier, you tend to find bad news online frequently when you try to stay informed. But one thing I often find is that occasionally you have these nuggets of entertainment or joy that go along with the bad. Whether it be cute pictures of animals, or a funny meme, or a wholesome moment on the internet, or even a silly anime dragon doing silly voiceovers. Fair enough, so sometimes you just have to go through piles of shit to eventually get to the good stuff. Fair enough. It's a very loose definition of gambling. Dopamine. Occasionally finding these nuggets of joy will bring you that sweet, sweet dopamine hit your brain craves after being deprived of it. And having the added bonus of finding some really depressing or horrific online material makes it even more like that, in the sense that just doing it IRL gambling, you're losing something in doing this act. Your sanity. So if you are willing to put your sanity on the line and gamble it away, this is the thing for you. Plot twist! As you can tell by now, the real thing I'm promoting here isn't scrolling, it is... On a real note, I would like to take a minute to be serious and say, if you're not in a mental state that is great, don't do this because it won't make it any better. And if you do end up doing this anyway, take your mental health seriously. It is great to be informed, but not at the risk of your sanity. I recommend touching grass or finding something cheerful to do or watch afterwards. Example, twitch.tv/Alekirser. Also gamble at your own risk. I wanted to do a quick note of some of this artwork. Okay, so some of it was done by you, I appreciate that, but this was created by Dushi. Who he assumes it is made by Dushi. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for introducing me to something that I do very frequently. Let us see what is next, Chatteroony. Cute! Bonsai. Why all of us should be bonsai enthusiasts. And Alekirser as well should become a bonsai enthusiast. Look, Wankies, benefits galore. You can become the IRL Mr. Miyagi. Look, that's you. It's me. Everybody wants to be them. Also, I've also heard that all the baddies love people who grow on trees, so... Chat. If you want the baddies, you gotta start bonsai farming. Trust me on this. I know. Yeah. This was my little guy about 2 weeks ago. Aerial view for extra swag. And this is how it looks now. Wow! That's so cute. I love that. Bonsai facts. They can take like a year or up to 10 years to even develop bark. My bonsai is a jarkanada. They grow hella fast, and typically you'll see true leaves within the first weeks and bark form by the end of the year. bonsai can be potted anywhere. It is just a plant, dummy. Remember to give direct sunlight after germination, or at least get a grow light that can produce white light. If not, please turn your little friend 90 degrees each day so it doesn't start to bend too much trying to reach out to the light. True leaf is much longer and cool. Seedling leaf is cute and round. That's so cute! I love this presentation so much. Yay! Oh, that's me! That's me and my Thanos my Thanos snap gauntlet stones and the stones and that's bonsai right at the center because now I am a bonsai queen. It's fun! Try it out! Yay! Okay, I'm convinced. I will start doing this tomorrow. I am convinced. Thank you. Let's see what is next. Let me close out of the ones I've already done. Presentation, Baba Booey. Vedic astrology, an introduction to micromanaging and overanalyzing one's life. Man, imagine doing that. Imagine. What is Vedic astrology? Originating from India, it is an ancient system of astrology dating back over 5,000 years. Unique to it are its use of planetary time periods called dashas, a subset of constellation known as nakshatras, and divisional charts, foreshadowing. Its nuanced and in-depth approach to astrology makes it beautiful, insightful, and delightfully haunting in its subject of interest. So come along and ride on the fantastic voyage. Wheels in the sky keep turning. There are two types of chart layouts, North Indian and South Indian. In South Indian, the sides and houses are fixed with the ascendant moves, marked by a slash in the bottom left corner of the house, and it is read clockwise. In North Indian, the houses are fixed but the signs move. The first house, top diamond, is always the ascendant and read counterclockwise. Okay. This is more visually appealing for sure, and this does look like a Monopoly board. I can say that. I agree. Dashas, nakshatras, and divisional charts. Okay, in Vedic astrology, planets rule for a duration of time in one's life known as a Mahadasha. Not everyone will start in the same Mahadasha, but will go through the cycle in the same order. It is often used for predicting events and determining the overall quality of life during that time period. Mom was right, it was just a phase. Okay. So this is the order and duration of each Mahadasha. So they rule for, each of the planets rule for a duration of time in your life. Okay, so the sun is the least. Venus is the most. Very interesting. Nakshatras, the moon and her 27 mansions. Nakshatras are lunar mansions and constellations interspersed between the 12 zodiac signs. Each lunar mansion has their own characteristics, deities, symbols associated with it. They are divided into 3 categories: divine, human, demonic. The mythological stories behind each nakshatra are rich in imagery, accentuating the duality of each nakshatra. This looks so complex. Like I feel bad that I'm struggling to fully understand exactly how you might read this. Okay, so those are the planets. And then there are these 2 layers. Is my moon in retrograde? I think a lot of what this presentation is it's like a very niche form of astrology. And so okay. Vargas or divisional charts are used in tandem with the main birth chart to get a more intricate understanding of a particular area of one's life. D2 shows one's ability to create and manage wealth. D7 shows the potential for having children. Okay. Connection with their children and experience with parenthood. D9 deals with marriage, spiritual progress, hidden talents, and desires unseen in the main birth chart. And D10 gives insight to career and social status of the individual, as well as potential successes and pitfalls in one's work life. Tarot does a lot of the same thing. I like the overlap between these different spiritualities. For a control freak, this is the quintessential gateway to lean heavily into your controlling tendencies, to move heaven and earth at will, to birth your desired outcome, dodging setbacks and exploiting unforeseen opportunities. For a curious mind, the vastness of the subject matter implores you to dive into a rabbit hole you'd be more than happy to not climb out of. For the spiritually inclined, this can allow one to have a deeper understanding of oneself, what makes us great, what we can improve on, our tendencies and propensity for existential pursuits as we stumble through this experience called life. In conclusion, although we barely scratched the surface, Vedic astrology is an interesting subject matter for whether you're just picking it up for the funsies or learning it for realsies. Although astrology is seen as phony baloney, this nosy jabroni thinks it's neato. Namaste, I'm gonna go now. Okay. Very interesting. Thank you. I've heard of it before, but I'm still fascinated by this particular image. Thank you for presenting. I want to get into some of the videos, so I'm gonna do that right now. This is a presentation on esports.
What would I even do it on? I've got an idea.
Wow. Oh, this is specifically going to be on Dota. Oh my god.
That's right. I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite long-standing video games, Dota 2. Now, I could sit here and tell you all about the mechanics and the characters that I like, and that would take a lot longer than the time I have right now, especially since I've already burned almost a minute with this stupid intro that I decided to do. So, I want to focus on a different aspect of the game, which is the esports scene, mainly because one of the biggest competitions, the biggest competition of the year is coming up. That being the...
Wow.
That's right. The International is Dota 2's most prestigious competition of the year, bringing in the best of the best of the best. Hi. Me in the future of editing this, I mainly wanted to make this video to try and convince Allie to become a fan of the team I support. However, they have, over the past 2 days, failed both of their potential qualifying matches to make it to the International. So I'm still gonna try and convince, to watch maybe a game, perhaps. It's still really interesting, but, it's just, yeah. To start off talking about the competition, I think we should go back in history and look at the origins and how everything came to be the way that it is.
Deploying flashbang.
It has editing.
Hey, you're finally awake.
It's 2003. You scroll the modded tab on your favorite game, Warcraft 3, to see a new mod get released called Defense of the Ancients. Jump forward a year and your lead developer decides to leave to try and go make his own standalone game that's way worse in every way, with a brand new startup called Riot Games, and leaves the mod in the hands of a developer known as IceFrog. Skip forward a few years, and a new project called Heroes of New Earth comes out that has all the same characters that Dota has, and supposedly was not worked on at all by IceFrog. And then 2011 happens. The first International. 2 years before Dota 2 actually comes out as a full game.
I have to say this.
Now,
I love how the font for the International is just like, it looks like an invitation to like a freaking Gatsby dinner. Like, so it just makes me think like, oh, fancy 4-star hotel. It's really interesting.
2 actually comes out as a full game. Now, I know you're probably wondering, why the hell is he talking about all this stuff? And to answer you, it's mostly just because the commentators really like to bring up this stuff a lot of the time, because they think it's interesting flavor to add in for anecdotal purposes.
Sure.
So with the history lesson done, let's talk about this year's TI. There's a lot on the line for many of the teams participating this year. 2 teams, Liquid and Spirit, have the possibility to be the first organization to win the competition 3 times, with Liquid having the opportunity to be the second team ever to defend the title. There's also 2 teams looking to win it for a second time, for their org being Tundra and Na'Vi. Then we have Gaming Gladiators, who for the past 2 years have come in second place. This year they're really hoping to break their curse with their new roster. Team Falcons came in 4th at last year's TI, but are still a powerhouse of a squad looking to claim the title for themselves. And Paravision, this past year, has really started to make a name for themselves, and could easily be considered a...
What? No! No! At first I thought, is that edited? Was it edited? No!
really started to make a name for themselves, and could easily be considered a frontrunner to win this Aegis.
There we go.
Or you could believe in a Cinderella story for any of the other teams to win. As quoted from one of my favorite pros, the fluke is one of the most common fish in the sea.
Damn.
With all the possible storylines that could play out, this is one of the most interesting internationals in years. You could choose any team to support and have a good time watching. Personally, in lieu of OG not qualifying, I think I'll probably be supporting Tundra, since I really like their current mid lane player, and their team playstyle is very fun to watch.
Okay.
And as a frame of reference for how long I've been watching and playing this game, I started watching at TI 4,
Dang.
which at this point is 11 years ago, which making this video made me realize how much I've sunk into this and how much I really care. So, yeah, this was interesting. Anyway, here's a clip of Gaben speaking Tagalog. I can make a whole separate video on the importance that this phrase
Not the
has in the Dota
Tagalog.
community, but I'll save that for a different time.
Lakat maratag to Canada.
What? What? Huh? What did you just say? Okay. That is definitely a pronunciation of that. Anyway, let's move on to the next video. Thank you so much for that, Honkin. I can understand your passion for it. I'm really learning more and more lately. Exactly the appeal of esports. So just seeing how long some of you guys have been supporting it, it's just like, it's really heartwarming, and I can appreciate the level of dedication that you guys devote to these hobbies. I really do. My one thing is that I know a lot about Dota, and that's because my brothers were really interested in it growing up, so I had to deal with their stupid fucking Dota parties all the time, and that's the only thing that I would say is a con to this presentation. Is that I'm not a Dota pro. I just had brothers that are like really, really weird about it, and that's the anyway. No, they don't stream. Don't ask. They're not VTubers. Next video. Mass Effect, no spoilers, I promise. This better be good.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you like space? Of course you like space. Space is cool. A place for cool kids. And you're a cool kid, right? Well then, by golly gee, have I got good news for you. The Human Alliance needs a hero, and you've got all the qualifications of one. That being 2 opposable thumbs and a love for excessive violence.
Yeah!
So pull up that galaxy map, squeeze those thumbs into a skin-tight suit of armor, and prepare to blast off out of here. It's time to affect some mass.
Yeah!
It me, your Voltius boy. And you probably thought this was going to be about Fallout. I can like other things. And one of those other things happens to be this game trilogy. Mass Effect. It's one of the greatest sci-fi stories ever put to screen, and one of the best roleplay experiences I've ever played through. Oh, baby, it's got it all. You got action, you got drama, You got humor. You got romance. You got enemies sworn to your destruction. You got war crimes. You got dialogue that's kinda sus out of context.
I am assuming direct control.
Oh.
Prepare for our coming. I know you feel this.
You got Seth Green. You got weirdly attractive bird people. You got space turtles. You got space hamsters. You got... Oh. Oh, God.
No.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
This is creepy.
Ah! Ah! The first time I played through this series, I could actively feel my brain chemistry being altered by it. And I knew there was no coming back afterward. I was a naive boy going about his day, blissfully unaware, when a friend pulled me aside, info dumped my ear off about this game he had just started, and insisted that I had to give it a try. With nothing to lose,
No, stop pausing. Thank you for the gift, so Sparklator. Thank you. Are you just watching videos to give yourself a rest? Yes. Unashamedly. Play the
off about this game he had just started, and insisted that I had to give it a try. With nothing to lose, I got a copy of the first game, popped it in my 360, and...
Ooh, this 360. Holy. That's so old.
I get it.
The main menu of the first game, hearing the soundtrack that accompanies it, it's one of those special moments, and I won't rob you of that in this silly video. But let me tell you, I immediately understood what the hype was about. Even before I launched the game, I knew I was in for the adventure of a lifetime. Speaking of, once you're done stewing in the atmosphere for a minute, you launch the game, build your sexy model soldier, or horrible abomination, I don't judge, and you go! Mass Effect has an interesting take on your typical sandbox RPG. Each game takes place over a vast section of the galaxy, with each planet being a possible place to explore.
Jeez, how long does it take to play through? How long does it take to play through Mass Effect if there are that many like places that you can play through?
Parameters to follow, go to this planet, do this thing, kill these people, all to further the story of the game. But it will often give you multiple of them at a time, allowing you to pick and choose what order you do them in. Plus, there will also be many planets that aren't marked with specific story missions that you can discover and explore, being rewarded with loot, resources, interesting side quests, horrible encounters, death, etc. It really adds to the feeling of being a galactic explorer. The role-playing in these games is also top-notch.
Roleplay!
The dialogue in this game is great, and while the dialogue wheel may feel a little simplistic at first, it's honestly a pretty good system to tell what attitude your character will have.
I've seen
when you
memes of
pick a
it
dialogue
before,
option.
that wheel.
On top of that, this series introduces
Stop it! Stop pausing it. I'm immersed.
Option.
Stop it.
On top of that, this series introduces something called the Paragon and Renegade System. Be the ultimate hero who fights for justice and shows mercy whenever possible. Or a ruthless monster who will achieve victory at any cost. Or an unpredictable wild card who takes actions on a fleeting whim. The PNR system takes into account your morally good or bad deeds and converts them into numerical scores. Yay, math! The more good deeds you do, the more polite you are in dialogue, the more Paragon points you earn. The more war crimes you commit, the more yo mama jokes you tell, the more renegade points you earn.
Yay!
And these points allow you to unlock unique dialogue choices and interactions as you move.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
And these points allow you to unlock unique dialogue choices and interactions as you move through the games. These can range from getting store discounts, discovering critical information that makes your job easier, and even intimidating or persuading your way out of entire combat encounters. So rescue those hostages. Punch that reporter in the mouth.
I've had enough of your snide insinuations.
That looks so goofy.
And get those points. They may just save your life. But of course, you can't have good roleplay without good characters to roleplay with. Luckily for you, Mass Effect has a massive cast of interesting, well-written, and fun characters to interact
I'm not
with.
waifu. Oh,
And
sorry.
also these guys. The companions and crewmates you recruit in each game will feel like family by the end of your journey. You will laugh with them, cry with them, make memories that will last a lifetime. And, possibly for one lucky member of your crew, you may even become something more.
Wow!
Pass. 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 Smash.
Space.
That's right. You
I
can
remember
live out your
I remember
Captain Kirk
the
fantasies
presentation
and
that you guys did on this particular.
You can live out.
I understand the appeal.
That's right. You can live out your Captain Kirk fantasies and bag yourself an alien bachelor or bachelorette. Or a human, I guess, if you're basic. And all of this is further enhanced by yet another neat feature. The bonds you form, the choices you make, they are transferred from game to game, shaping future outcomes in the series. While it may split into 3 separate games, this allows Mass Effect to be a single, unbroken story. Your story. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but what about the gameplay, I hear you ask? Well, it's pretty good. Admittedly, a little jank here and there, especially in the earliest title, though improvements have been made with the release of the Legendary Edition.
Fair.
But even at its jankiest, it's undoubtedly fun. Combat has you primarily taking control of your own character and their loadout of weapons and gear, with the ability to command your squad mates to use specific weapons and powers they have equipped to assist you. You can become the most effective team in the galaxy, working through every encounter like a well-oiled machine. You can turn yourself into the ultimate warrior, using tech
really good.
that boggles the mind, and space powers that warp the laws of physics. Or you can just run in and shoot people. It's whatever you want to do. Very few games have touched me the way that Mass Effect has. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It had me soaring through the clouds right before breaking my heart.
No.
And I thanked it every time. If asked to pick 5 series that everyone should play at least once in their life, Mass Effect has a permanent spot on
Well,
that
now
list
I
for
want to
me.
play Mass
I
Effect.
implore you to try it for yourself. I think you'll genuinely love it.
That was phenomenal. Thank you so much. That was amazing. This worked very well. I was already going to play it anyway, but now I want to play it sooner. Congratulations. You made a good presentation. Thank you. That was great. I can tell a lot of work went into this. Holy, thank you so much. That was a great video. Should upload it on YouTube. Now let's. Oh, I already watched that video. Let's see. I'm still butt chugging like a no, not butt chugging. I'm still chugging a lot of water right now, so I'm gonna play the other video that we had made. I'm gonna play the other video that we had made. Let's see how this turns out. Art with Simulta. Nice. An art video. Ooh, wait, this already looks really good. Okay, let's play this over here. Let me make sure that everything is okay. This is on Google Drive. Let me make sure that everything is zoomed out. Okay, let's watch the video and learn more about art.
In this painting, there is but vulgarity, sacrilege, impiousness, and disgust. One would say is a work made by a painter that can paint well, but of a dark spirit, and who has been for a lot of time far from God, from his adoration, and from any good thought. Man, what an astute observation by some dummy in 1672, Giovan Pietro Elori, on my boy Caravaggio, who is one of my favorite artists. On any other circumstances, these are fighting words. But I do aspire to have my work live up to a review like this, which is bananas. But, you know, now you have an idea about who is info dumping on you right now, which, good luck.
I have a question. Hold on. So this art over here and the music in the background was all made by you? That's insane. That's crazy.
With that said, alright, let's cut to the chase. Oh boy, art. Art. It's an incredibly open and untargeted way to start a conversation. It's an unknown forest, we have no map, I'm cold, my socks are damp, and I need an adult. Mom, please come pick me up. But it's alright, it's fine. I'm here to hold your hand for a wee bit through this. Nothing is deep, everything is layered. That's a little bit of a better way to look at things. When things are deep, you look into an abyss. It's scary, it's dark. Oh my god, where does it take me? When things are layered, they're a sandwich that you can learn how to make for yourself while you enjoy a nice and cozy Alekirser audio. TM. Alright, so let's go back to this. We have the art movements, which are rich in cool stories and culture. We have color theory teaching us how light interacts with our environment. And we have shape studies that teaches us how our world is built. This is a massive oversimplification of the academic fundamentals which apply to all art that is, was, and will be. I'm also going to try my best not to sound insane when I say this, but this right here is one of the recipes to immortality. Through art, we carve memories in time itself, and we make them everlasting.
That's immortal.
You protest.
Art school hates anime.
Yeah, I know. I lived through that firsthand. Wasted opportunity, in all honesty. There are incredible compositions that you can find in anime. Like the amount of learning content that you can pull out from, haha, bite me, that you can pull from popular animes. Like, let's take Neon Genesis, for example. Incredible character design. Oh my god, Eva 01, timeless. Timeless. You can see that at any period of time and you're like, oh yeah, that was designed yesterday. Maybe in like 100 years in the future, yeah, then maybe that'll be outdated, but that's not now. And then you have like the character designs and special effects in Demon Slayer, and you have the heart and soul poured into Studio Ghibli stuff, and so much content that you could teach from. But you know, I get it. I've been brainwashed. Some art professors think it does distract from teaching fundamentals to students. So here's my take. Yes, learning a stylized art discipline does distract from learning fundamentals, but it is incredibly possible to learn them simultaneously. I mean, as long as you know how to bridge them both together, you'll be fine. But note that it is real quack and easy to not know what you're practicing with anime, which is why, again, I'll give you my brainwashed, biased information. Learning fundamentals does teach you how to see things. That way you can digest them better.
Fair.
And that, my friend, is the path to learning how to draw your anime waifu.
I think a lot of the, like, I'm seeing this very much, like, firsthand. I'm trying to keep my commentary short because this, like, I do want to get through all the video, like, but at the same time, this is just so well made. Something I've noticed is that, like, a lot of anime art can look really, really good, but when you look at it more, the proportions are just absolute shit. Like, what are you telling me her head is that big? Like, I'm not even getting into the territory of, like, her boobs are really fucking big. Like, that's just a given, but, like, I don't know. Like, here's something that I've noticed is like a lot of anime art has like people with, I would say in general, like a lot of anime art from Japan represents like pair body types very, very frequently. But you won't often see, I would say, anime art with like women that have like wider shoulders. It's definitely very stylized, and I guess that's the reason why that point that you made about how fundamentals are important before getting into other art styles like anime and such are really important. This chibi model is a great example of what I'm talking about.
Leading us to the life, baby. Let's go. Alright, back to taking psych damage. Remember, things are layered here. I'm a goddamn onion mason. Each word in this word soup, good soup, deserves a lot of time and dedication. Learning all of them is important. But we gotta walk before we run, before we fly. So, where to? Well, we need our tools. And oh god, help me. Airbrushes, oil pastels, oil paint, watercolor, Copics, my stuff. That's like a lot of stuff, dude. And trust me, this is the part that turns art into an IRL gotcha. So here's my advice. You need to pick the right tool for the job. And you only discover that by discovering your needs. Because don't even get me started on the fact that you need the proper surfaces to use your tools on and the other attachments. So let's be real here. What's a good way to discover your needs? The humble pencil and pen. I am so not biased. So let's get started with a mighty pencil, marked with the following scale. 6H is the lightest, HB is mid-ground, and 8B is your darkest. Each pencil will be marked with a different sign indicating what kind of value range you can expect from it. It's not rocket science, but you still need a stack of them, which is why I look to the mighty pen with such high regard, because you only need one. And after you learn pressure control with it, you can saturate the crap out of your paper, getting darker shadows. These are your starter weapons. With these, there is no, my iPad is dead, so I gotta charge it, so I can draw. No excuses. But I will say, Yes, digital art is the most accessible way to experiment, and I hope to God you know that I mean Clip Studio Paint, Krita, Ibis, Procreate, and so on. And before you call me a boomer, know the following. AI art is killing us. Traditional art is our legacy. And whatever you can do with pen, pencil, and paper, trust me when I say that it translates digitally as soon as you get acquainted with the systems. The tools that I recommend are humble, but mighty indeed. Art is about doing what you can with what you have. Art is also about repetition. Here's a personal anecdote. Back in middle school, I used to draw Rayquaza over and over again. And while I was proud of being able to draw him from memory, don't forget that art is also about exploring, seeing things slightly different each time. I will say, however, that you are allowed to do the same drawing over and over again should your heart desire. Art is about whatever you want it to be. So with all things considered, loosen up, have fun. If you look around in your room, you'll find plenty of practice material. If you choose to touch grass and study the outside, the world is your oyster. If you reach within your dreams and let your subconscious guide you, you will discover things about yourself. All those things are nice and good, but there will be days that some of your pieces will drown you if you let them. Shame will be plastered in your face, and you know what? It's okay. Failing is all right, because the mistakes of today are the lessons of tomorrow. And then one day you will look back and realize how far you've come. Because you stuck to it, you did your due diligence, you never gave up. And it's fine. It's fine to take breaks. It's fine to give yourself a chance to breathe. That's okay. Because it's not about how you fall, it's about how you get back up. Because practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes improvement. The thrill of seeing your improvement is one that I highly recommend you experience. Because with art, you learn a universal language. Because one day, someone will help you getting out of a hole you have found yourself in. And you'll want to say thank you in the most heartfelt way you can. So now that you are armed, strike time with your newfound weapon. Welcome to the Art Club. Now you have one more thing left to do, which is...
Do art! Let's go! Let's go! This was so cool. Thank you. Holy crap. That was so good. That's why I didn't want to say anything. I was like, I don't want to interrupt. Like, holy, that was amazing. Thank you. Standing ovation. Holy. Drawing stream when? I'm not doing a drawing stream after showing you guys that, but holy. I mean, like, I think one thing that you definitely got into that really resonated with me was the inspiration aspect of art. Like, at the end of the day, even if it's something as silly and like not taken as seriously as it should be, like you know, like NSFW art, you can see the passion that a lot of NSFW artists have for their art, and it is their horny that motivates them to pursue it at such a high level, and that level of dedication is something that should be admired, not scorned. Yes. It's all passion, passions from different parts of your being. Anyway, this is a very good video. Thank you so much for showing it. I am going to look through the other presentations that we have. My voice is finally properly rested. So let us see. Lifting! Okay. Alright. Let's do a presentation on the lifting, shall we? Lifting, and then we also have, ooh, koalas. Freaking love koalas. Alright. I'm basically just going down the list as things were submitted. Just doing my best to get through as many presentations as possible. Thank you so much for your patience through all of this. Boop, 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 boop. Right. I feel the pump coming on. A case for lifting for the sake of lifting. Why should you work out? There's already thousands of studies, millions of videos, and $1 billion self-improvement industry that's trying to tell you the benefits of working out so they can sell you a program or reinforce what you already know. That working out is good for you. This is why you shouldn't work out, though. You might as well start with a few reasons why you shouldn't start working out, because you'll need these excuses when you really don't feel like running on a treadmill for several minutes while you watch the entirety of The Wire, Breaking Bad, or The Sopranos through YouTube Shorts or TikToks. Time commitment issues. Sometimes you legitimately don't have the time to commit to some self-improvement. Some people might try to convince you that you should try to carve out 30 minutes to exercise because that amount of time is clinically proven to improve your health in a tangible way. In fact, refer to the quintillions of nanoseconds of media telling you exactly that. If you're convinced that you're too busy to work out, then you just are. It freaking hurts. No matter what stage you're on at your fitness journey, working out hurts. Sometimes you don't want to deal with that shit. And there's the potential pain you might get if you work out wrong. You might get bad knees, a bad back, an injury you might need to nurse for the rest of your life. People say, no pain, no gain. But is this really something you wish to gain? It's pain! Crippling body image issues. Comparison is the thief of joy, but how can you judge progress other than comparing your past self to your current self? That's not even touching comparing yourself to others. Okay, I'm convinced I'm never gonna work out ever again. I just don't want to. Man, sometimes life just kinda sucks and you can't really be bothered. But this is why I work out. There's 4 reasons are why sometimes I don't. These 4 reasons are why I sometimes don't bother to go to the gym. I fall off the horse and skip a gym day, maybe a week. Maybe I stop being so strict on my diet. But like 20 trillion Sigma males motivational videos, it's about how we can get hit and keep moving forward. Also, it feels fucking amazing to get that pump, even if it kind of hurts. It feels good. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger. How I keep working out, and maybe how you can too. I carve out some time in my schedule to work out. This is easier to say, but if you're able to turn going to the gym into a habit/addiction, then it's easier to stay on the horse. Be kind to myself. Whenever I fail in some kind of way, like not being as disciplined as I should, or succumbing to any of the aforementioned reasons to not work out, I allow myself to forgive my shortcomings. That's nice. That's a good reminder. The following is a specific example of how I do important compound exercises. The squat and the deadlift. Let's fucking go! Included are also some coaching tips. I'm not perfect, so despite not wanting to compare myself to others, I expose myself to good-intentioned communities for help. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go. We got the workout videos. Oh shit, there's audio? Okay, wait, hold on. There's audio. I gotta... Okay, there we go. There we go. That is many plates. What is that music? Additional coach notes. The squat looks good. Also bun your hair for squats. What is the same erection? Damn, do you shit with that? For bench, I think you could try putting some plates and blocks on the floor to try to get more connection with your feet to the ground. It might help with the leg drive, but I don't know how it feels to you. Ooh. Amazing. Oh, okay. Oh, we watched the video. We watched the video. As you can see, even a schlubby-looking guy like me can put up a respectable weight. Hopefully this inspires you to work out or continue working out. If that's not enough, there's enough media out there to get you started. Lean Beef Patty and Jeff Nippert are good fitness content creators to watch, and Bro Science is always good for some comedy. If you're a weeb, you can read How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift for some laughs. Yippee! I like the great value blueberries into the right corner. I guess this is the erection song if you guys are curious. Successful thanks to Asuka for editing out faces and his artistic talents. Thank you! Phenomenal! That was a great presentation. Yippee! I am pumped, and I also need to start going to the gym more taking my gym stuff more seriously again. I done been slacking. Okie dokie. This next presentation is on koalas, which I like, because koalas are cute. My niche subject of interest are researching ways to restore endangered populations. Today's subject is koalas and finding new ways to grow their habitat and food sources to help them. I hope y'all enjoy. Click through as fast or as slow as you want. Boop 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 boop. The Australian koala, Phascolarctocinerius goldfuss. They are the largest arboreal marsupial. They carry babies in their pouch, and they are herbivores of trees. What do they provide the environment? Well, they are non-invasive, they reduce biomass, their droppings are useful, and they have selective eucalyptus eating habits. But why should we care? Restoring these lands will not only help protect koalas, but all wildlife life in these forests. They are globally 20% of mammals estimated to be on the brink of extinction. Oh, that's depressing as shit. Restoring up to 15% of previously converted land would lead to the avoidance of 60% of total projected extinctions. Only 15%. Restoration of land and restoration of critical resources are crucial. You need to restore food, shelter, nesting sites, wink, and corridors. Australia is highly endemic and highly diverse in terrestrial mammal diversity. The main threats to the population are my mouse apparently. The main threats to population is habitat loss, urbanization, bushfires, disease, climate change. You know, the stuff you talk about during family dinner. Here's a methods overview of how we can help restore habitats to the koalas. Objective: investigate seed delivery methods for 5 eucalyptic species vital for koala habitat. The seed source is 5 species from New South Wales. I almost read north-south for work. I always read it as that, I'm sorry. And Queensland koala management areas. Seed treatments, delivery methods, pellets, encased in organic substrate, bare seeds, surface sown without pre-treatment, and substrate composition. A 1x1x1 mix of coconut fiber, potting mix, and Chilago perlite. Again, the types of things that you would eat during family dinner. Greenhouse conditions and data collection. Wow, why am I convinced that you literally went to Australia and are currently rescuing the koalas? That is my headcanon for you now. Greenhouse conditions, duration March to November 2023. The environment average temperature was 15 degrees Celsius, which you Americans probably do not understand. Watering, automated misters, adjusted seasonally. Data collection, emergence tracking, weekly checks for seedling emergence. Thinning and survival, thin to the tallest seedling after 7 weeks, survival recorded at 22 weeks. And the final harvest, at 33 weeks post-planting, data collected on root ratios and total lengths and weights. You got this is a freaking research paper, bro. We got analytical methods. They're using statistics and shit. Oh my god! What the hell is a Celsius? I'll do a whole presentation on why you should convert to the metric system. That'll be the next presentation. Data preparation. Separate models assess provenance-specific differences in E. camaldulensis and E. viminalis. No strong provenance effects were found, thus all species were analyzed together. You used the Poisson mixed effects model, evaluated differences in seedling emergence with species and treatment as fixed effects, and linear mixed effects models assessed mean time to emergence and growth over time, incorporating species, treatment, and time as fixed effects. Okay, so we're seeing some statistics on how the seeds were able to survive. 97 to 100% survival in most treatments is very crazy, and both the pellets and bear seeds show 89% emergence after 7 weeks. Ooh, so pellet seeds grow faster than bear seeds, and they're taller on average, and they have significant height differences depending on what's... Okay. They have greater biomass. So this is why all of you should eat pellets! All of you should eat pellets now and become a koala. That's not the point of this presentation, but still. Post-harvest plant growth measurements. 5.93 milligrams greater biomass in pellet seeds. 26% higher above ground investment with pellets. No significant differences between treatments. This study, along with previous studies, has shown that pellet seeds show high emergence rates. Pellet seeds show increase in growth after delay in emergence compared to bear seeds. Okay. The use of sets with drone use for habitat restoration might be the future for restoration projects. Strongly suggests that further field studies are important to test world wild habitats. Further exploration in pellet seed improvements and modifications. And you got your sources as well. And you used scholarly sources! We love it! We love to see it! Yeah! A+. Thank you for saving the koalas. Yippee. Okay. Thank you. A presentation on writing. This better be good because I write for a living. This was an actual college presentation. I would not be surprised if it was. It seems like it could be. Writing. This better be freaking good. No pressure though. Alekirser is a prime example of how writing benefits a person. An example of how writing brings about peace and self-actualization into those that dedicate themselves to this art. This presentation aims to further enable her narrative creations and encourage others to attempt toward their own narrative creations too. And you chose 3 very, very beautiful images of me to display. Thank you very much for that. Why? This slide is an atrocity. Do you have thoughts? Do you have ideas? Do you have trauma? That's rare, except the trauma. Do you know what that might be? You know what might be cool? Writing about it. Bringing to life those imaginative wonders into objective reality. All those chaotic, unrecognizable activities going on in that big or little head of yours should be made into something understandable. Something real. But how? This slide is somehow even worse than the last one. There are many applications for writing. Essays, stories, or just a nice little journal, notes, or docs for yourself to write in every day. Write helps give you a reason to understand your own ideas, your own pasts, and your own wants. What? What to write about can be very different for many people. What's important is that you find what to write from within you. What I have experienced that I can pull from. What do I want to understand about myself and or share with other people? What lessons or experiences do I value in giving myself and or others? These are all important questions to ask when finding what will keep you writing and developing your own unique voice in the world. But what if you have no ideas? If you have no ideas, try consuming more art, you uncultured fiend. The more you engage with the world and the more art you consume allows you to earn puzzle pieces you can play with and rearrange in your mind to form unique combinations of ideas only you can create. I love the way that this was made. I just want to know what was running through your brain when you were making this presentation. Okay. Good writing from games. These have the Luma trademark seal of approval. Fire Emblem Three Houses, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 3 Reload, Undertale, Deltarune, Nier Automata, Kingdom Hearts, and of course, you didn't have to hide it. You know, you don't have to be ashamed. There's something that I'm hiding. But I'll just... You don't have to be ashamed. The Coffin of Andy and Lele has phenomenal writing. I've said this time and time again. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to hide it in the corner. Loud and proud. You understand? Good writing for shows. Death Note, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Attack on Titan, Daredevil, Avatar The Last Airbender, Gravity Falls, The Wire, Star Wars Andor, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Good writing from movies. The Dark Knight, 12 Angry Men, A Silent Voice, the movie, Wall-E, Oppenheimer, Ponyo, Forrest Gump, Hamilton, Your Name, and The Truman Show. A lot of my favorites are on here. Good taste. Good writing. No! No! Get that away from me! Get that away from me! What's most important is to write something that fulfills you. Whether it's goofy or serious, sprawling or small, as long as you always try to articulate something passionate within yourself, you become one step closer into fully understanding who you are. But if you're writing shit like this, do you really want to understand more of who you are? 'Cause if you were writing shit like this, I'm sorry, I don't mean to discourage you. But, yeah, no. Yeah, you should probably learn less about yourself. Writing, I believe, is the purest form of exploring your own mind and developing the best version of yourself you can be. Thank you. This was definitely a presentation of all time, but you know what? It entertained me, so I'm happy for it. Let me find some. What's the next presentation? Up, yep, okay. You already know that there was gonna be one guy that presented on this tonight. The Fate franchise. And why it isn't as complicated as the fandom makes it sound. What is Fate about? Fate is about the Holy Grail War. The war is comprised of masters and their summoned servants. The ultimate goal being to defeat monsters, defeat other servants, and obtain the Grail to have a wish granted for both master and servant. Hot. Masters are mages that are chosen by the Grail to participate in the war. Some are chosen after declaring themselves as a participant, and some are chosen at random. I wouldn't want to be chosen at random. Servants are heroes from famous myths or events that can be fictional people, like Robin Hood, or real people, like Marie Antoinette. They are broken up into 7 classes: Saber, Lancer, Archer, Caster, Rider, Assassin, and Berserker. Befitting what kind of person they were or what fighting style they practiced/mastered. This is how the war works. Masters summon their servants using catalysts to summon for specific heroes, or using nothing to summon one at random. There are 7 masters and servants, with the goal of defeating the other servants. Allie, you're walking into hell right now. The killing of other masters isn't required, but it is highly recommended. Removing the master is like removing the power cord from a phone on 5%. Masters act as a mana battery for their servants and possess 3 command seals. This sounds very... I want to write something about that. Command seals are a limited resource and do not refresh. They possess an exuberant amount of mana and can be used in many ways. Powering up the servant, summoning them from a distance, or even forcing them to perform a command are all options at your disposal. Interesting. Each servant possesses a manifestation of their myth of history called a noble phantasm. These are trump cards or special abilities that come at the cost of potentially revealing the identity of your servant. The master and servant need to strategize and work together, so the Grail has a funny way of picking servants that are compatible with the master. Though some of these servants can have personalities that are a little too strong to work with. So that's super simple. Summon your servant, beat other servants, win war, and get your wish granted. Wrong! That's how you're walking into. There are no rules. Forget everything that I just said. The series has a way of almost always having some participant or external entity interfering with the rules, established both conceptually from the Grail or officially from the Church who act as the mediators. Depending on the entry in the franchise you decide to consume, the format and/or rules of the war can or will change. 7 servants? Nah, up those numbers. 14. 2 teams. Then the winning team fights for the Grail among the survivors. But what if we had 6 servants in a fake war that ended up causing 7 more to be summoned for a real war? Sure. Fate is all about having fun. Don't listen to the fandom. This isn't very complicated, and most things are taken a lot more seriously than they should be. It only looks intimidating because the fans have a lot of knowledge and they shove it down your throat and they make you feel bad when you don't understand what they're talking about. I mean, what? I'm sorry. The lore will come to you. The more fun you have with the series, the more you'll get invested. Whether that be lore dives or just watching more entries, enjoy it at your own pace. Or enjoy the original 100+ hour visual novel. It even has game titles. You see the watch order? Ignore this. This is the real watch order. If you want the serious answer, Fate Zero or Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. Watch them in either order. Then Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel movies, and then literally any spin-off. If you want my real answer, watch what looks good to you. I think they all have their own charms and are really good stories. Start with a spin-off. They usually do a good job of re-explaining details to newcomers. You can even go off what character designs you like the most if you want. And these are some of the spin-offs. Story focusing on a 7v7 Holy Grail war. My personal rec for a starter entry. Okay. An entry to the series that is about to have their full anime release soon. They already have their first episode out as a 45-minute special. Okay. You don't need to play the visual novel. You can if you want, but you don't have to, okay? Okay. These are the games I would recommend. We got Fate Extelo? Fate Sex. That's what that says. Fate Samurai Remnant. Interesting. I think that's what's really intimidating about Fate, is that it's just so many things. and every fan that I've had introduce it to me has been really mean about it. This is Artoria Pendragon, commonly known as Saber, of gender-bent King Arthur. Isn't she pretty? This is one of the many waifus and husbandos, which is what Fate is all about. There's also Artoria and Saber. All are a version of Artoria Saber, solid majority from the mobile game, except for the two on the bottom right. Wow. Or maybe this will interest you. This here is Rin Tosaka, read my wife. And this is the absolute territory, the space between the skirt and the thigh highs. Okay, I'm sold. Thumbs ups. These are for you, Allie. Thank you. Thank you for the big muscular men. Thank you. Some banging music. Okay, I will play one of these. Let's play...
I want to play a dance game that involves actual dancing, but I don't want to play just dance.
Right.
There's actually Dance Dance Revolution that has a huge list of songs.
Dude, shut the
and
fuck up. That shit
difficulties.
is ass. Half of the time you're just having a stroke on the machine. Disclaimer, I think the game is fine. It is just not for me. So, how do we deal with this? We go for a game that the same company made called Dance Rush Stardom. What is this game exactly? Well, it's a rhythm game that actually makes you dance. You see these patterns? It's shuffling. You know, the one thing that one pop group did in like 2011. Knowing how to shuffle and moves related to such is the main and easiest way to play the game. Like the Charleston, or the SpongeBob, or the default dance, or, you know, the funny rat dance that blew up on TikTok.
Yeah.
I just love when the rodents just shuffle with glee. What makes this game cool? Well, watch this. The pad lights up when you step on it, and it's really satisfying to see on videos if you want to record yourself.
It does look really satisfying.
There's also the freedom to play how you want. Ish. You have the freedom to dance the way you want. Granted, you have to sort of watch your footwork while you hit the notes, but despite having a set pattern, you can hit them any way you want. I've seen people do interpretive dance. I've seen people hit some stuff I
Holy
never
crap, that's
even
so cool.
thought of trying. They bring a Swiffer, I guess. They're playing shogi on it. It's also followed by a very, very good song selection, a lot of different genres and ways to dance to it. Hell, they even have fucking Megalovania on here for some reason.
Oh, that's insane.
You can hit the party rock while the funny skeleton is in the background. But it's a good way to start learning how to shuffle, you know, if you want to, and get in that cardio, because holy fuck, does it take a lot
Yeah,
out
it looks
of you.
like it does.
And yeah, do I think this is going to get people to start shuffling? Probably not. I presented this
No, it
fucking
will.
horribly. But
It will. This
I
is
just
so
hope that I
good.
managed to get into your consideration.
That was so cool. This made it look really fucking awesome. This is a great presentation. What do you mean? Shuffling 3D stream where we play this game. Thank you so much, Kishiharu. Thank you, thank you. Let me put music on. I guess you get Fate music for this presentation. An unhelpful guide to shoegaze and why you should listen to it if you haven't already. PSA. Okay, disclaimer before I start. For the purists and snobs, obviously this won't be 100% accurate. An in-depth explanation and some of this info could be up for debate, but for the sake of saving time, this is just the essentials. First, what is the name? Trigger warning for walls of text. In a guitar signal chain, you usually have a guitar, an effects pedal board, and an amp. Due to the amount of effects used in creating these sounds, distortion, reverb, etc., guitarists would spend most of their time standing motionless, looking down at their pedal boards and what they were doing instead of looking up and engaging the audience at gigs is called shoegazing. Oh, okay. What is shoegaze? It is defined by its obscure vocals and heavily distorted guitars, with added effects like reverb and delay, aka being noisy. Essentially being hazy walls of sound created with too many effects pedals, layers of overwhelming guitar that leave the vocals almost indiscernible, which is probably better because you couldn't make out what the fuck they were singing anyways. Now I want to find some shoegaze. We're gonna find some shoegaze to play through this presentation. I like being introduced to new music genres. Shoegaze type beat. Is this good? That works. Okay, that works.
Lord's vibe is so good.
Oh, I don't know what that. I just picked a random one. You may find elements of this genre in other forms of rock music, such as post-rock and nu metal, which is why some listeners may consider a few tones by Deftones and Sorry, I shouldn't bang my table. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing that. I love love. Anyway, as being similar to shoegaze, but true examples of the genre can be found in its origins. It wouldn't be fair to talk about shoegaze without mentioning its sister genre. They sonically overlap with each other and have similar origins, this being dream pop. Unlike shoegaze, dream pop prioritizes melody. They have a bit more emphasis on vocals and the instrumentals feel more opened. Both can feel odd, but where shoegaze may ground you, dream pop almost feels like you're floating. The Cocteau Twins, I listen to them all the time. One of the pioneers for the sound were the Scottish band Cocteau Twins, who were releasing music around the same time as prominent shoegaze bands and have also made an impact. I literally have made an audio where two of their songs are in the background. I'm not even kidding, but it's like from 4 years ago, so we don't talk about that. They're infamous for having lyrics that no one seems to understand. Listen to Heaven or Las Vegas and check out some of their stuff too. I listened to all of these bands. How the fuck did I not know that they were shoegaze? I just listen to them. Like, I literally have all of these. Like, okay, My Bloody Valentine was also in another one of my audios. The genre was formed in Ireland and the UK in the late 80s. To be fair, if I lived in a town with nothing going on, I'd probably invent a genre too. I'm gonna say that as Jekka. To be fair, if I lived in a town with nothing going on, I'd probably invent a genre too. Bands at the time have often cited acts like I don't know how the fuck to pronounce it, I'm so sorry. And the Banshees, The Cure and Sonic Youth. Susie and the Banshees, The Cure and Sonic Youth, among others, are influences on their sound. The artists and albums that define shoegaze are Slow Dive Slovaki, My Bloody Valentine's Loveless, and Rides Nowhere, 1990. From melodic and ethereal to noisy and chaotic, or even a more pop-driven sound, each album showcases the spectrum of what shoegaze could produce, and left a blueprint for other bands to follow. Revival in the 20s, after its brief rise to prominence in the early 90s, and with genres like grunge and Britpop becoming mainstream, the genre died out with Slow Dive receiving harsh criticism for their music, My Bloody Valentine being dropped by their label, and it wouldn't really be brought back to relevance until its revival on TikTok in recent years. Nowadays, shoegaze is a loose term to describe music with any overdriven guitar and drum loops, conflated with the term type beat. But labels are kinda dumb anyway, so who cares? There are, however, some artists that fit well into this label, as their sound is heavily influenced by the conventions of the original movement, proving that the scene is alive and well. Here's some recommendations. Yeah, I listen to Whir and I listen to Julie. Listen to Slow Dive Slovaki and self-titled album, My Bloody Valentine's Loveless, and MVV. For new bands that pull from shoegaze, you should check out Whir, Julie, Wisp, and Glare. And some of my personal faves that I think you should listen to are Snooze by Vivian Eastwood, Go and Come Back by Fleeting Joys, and Your Lips, My Mouth by Ariel. To conclude, even though most shoegaze spaces are filled with pretentious assholes, please don't go on Reddit, Jesus Christ, and the scene is slowly becoming saturated with music, I still think that shoegaze is worth listening to. One of the things that pulls me toward this type of music is the sense of harmony in the dissonance, and its introspective and ethereal value. Ethereal value. I'm so tired. It could be a substitute for acid for nerds with a ton of money, but I don't know. I hope I've managed to convince you to dive deeper into this genre. XOXO Gossip Girl. Well, you kind of just gave me a name for the music that I've been listening to, so I'm very grateful for that. I can see I said ethereal. I'm sorry, ethereal. But this is so good. Thank you. Clappers. I love putting names to the things I enjoy. Thank you. That was really nice. Yeah, man. I really like that. And here we have something. We have the best follow-up presentation to that. Limbus Company! Oh yeah! Give me a quick second, wait, hold on. I'm gonna present this in the full screen mode because there's some animations and I wanna make sure that those are shown. Let's go. This is from Vei, who is one of the dungeon's editors. Wait, hold on. I don't want to block the alley that's pointing on the screen. I get... there. Wah! Limbus Company. Ligma Company. Let's go. What is it about? Limbus Company is a story-rich strategy game that has a mix of gacha and turn-based combat. This game relies on you to build a team with IDs and EGOs, which can be obtained through the gacha system, events, battle passes, or by sharding. It was published by Project Moon and released during 2023. And it's also free. What is a ID? What is an EGO? The game has a total of 12 sinners that you can play. Each sinner can equip different identities, which are basically like alternate universe versions of each character. Maybe think of it like a skin, each with unique abilities, stats, and different roles in combats. I said sharding, not sharding. Identities are central to the gameplay, allowing you to build synergies between different characters. Identities can either be 00 or 000. 00s are like 5-star characters in gacha games, while 000s are like 5-star characters in gacha games, while 00s are 4-star characters. EGOs, on the other hand, are kind of like ultimates, similar to like in Honkai Star Rail during a big boom attack. Though in this game, EGOs have resource costs and sometimes can cost the character's sanity. Sinners can equip different IDs, many of which have affinities to different sin types in the game. Wrath, Gluttony, Lust, etc. or passive abilities that can boost allies with similar affinities. Building your team around shared affinities can lead to your team having strong synergies. For example, the Blood Fiend IDs are mainly associated with Lust, and Lust is associated with the Bleed status effect. During combat, there's a clashing system where skills are to compete with the enemy's skills. The speed determines who the enemy clashes with. As clashing starts, both sides roll a number within the skill range, and whoever rolls the highest wins the clash, which can deal big damage and stagger the enemy. Gacha system! Always gamble, but actually no. Limbus is a free-to-play game. Collecting currency to pull IDs and EGOs is fairly easy, as you can get it from weeklies and story. Additional could also be gained from events, challenges, battle passes, and much more. Not only that, it is even easier to collect shards for IDs and EGOs from the battle pass, events, and more. As each ID and EGO requires 400 shards, they are gained rather quickly compared to other games where it can take months to build up shards to collect characters. Like, you can even get guaranteed 000 temples, which is pretty cool. But this is the story of the game. Limbus Company is a heavily story-driven game that is also tied with other games that Project Moon has previously created. Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Ruina. Though you don't need to play those games to understand it. The story goes through each sinner's past, diving into their conflicts and trauma, while also going through combat encounters and going through bosses. Like this guy over here. He's a boss you gotta fight. We're gonna call him Assfister. There's sexy fan art. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. I love that. I don't want to know what's going on there. Wow, this does have really pretty fan art. And this silly video, made by Mr. K. Code. No! I don't have access to the file! No! Access denied! Access denied! No! I want access to the video! In conclusion, the game is pretty cool with the animations. It's pretty unique compared to other games I've played. Everything is fairly easy to get, and it's free to play, so give it a shot. And you should also totally listen to this. Okay. It's a cute song. Cute. I've seen a lot of fan art of Limbus Company, and honestly that alone was enough to make me interested in the game, but I appreciate you going out of your way to present it. I wish the video worked. I am so sorry it doesn't work. Ooh, we got another video. This one is from Phoenix. This is about card games. Oh boy. We all love card games.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Tiny Dragon.
Yeah.
Do you like collecting valuables just to keep them in a hoard? Do you love the thrill of gambling on gacha games but are disappointed when you can't physically lick the results
What is this propaganda? I don't play gacha games.
on your phone? Well, I have got the perfect solution for you. Trading card games. Trading card games combine the dopamine hit of gambling with the ability to physically hold your spoils and celebrate your hits, or lament your failures.
Oh god.
TCGs have been a hobby of mine for several years now, and hopefully I can maybe pique your interest in them a little bit as well.
I see.
I'm going to be describing a few of them here, starting from the murky, sweaty depths and working my way upwards. And of course, by the murky, sweaty depths, I can only be referring to Magic the Gathering.
Oh god.
Magic the Gathering is considered the very first trading card game, first released in 1983 by Wizards of the Coast. Magic set the framework that most games afterwards would follow, where players build decks from cards pulled from booster packs and compete against others.
Oh, you want music? Sure. Let's do the funky music. There we go.
Cards consist of monsters summoned to fight and spells used to power them up or attack the opponent. Why you probably shouldn't play it. What started off as a game with some standard basic mechanics and some actually pretty sweet fantasy art has since turned into a caricature of everything wrong with nerd culture. When one pictures a Magic the Gathering player, they probably picture an overweight neckbeard with an unkempt shirt and repulsive body odor. And unfortunately, sometimes stereotypes are completely accurate.
Oh no.
I had a brief stint of playing Magic, and often I had to hold my hand of cards in front of my face to block out my opponent's body odor, bad breath,
Oh my god, wait,
or
hold
both.
on.
And
Slight tangent, but apparently there is apparently the party at Offkai or something smelled really, really bad. Apparently it smelled really, really bad. So now that hazmat suit idea that I had of like wearing a hazmat suit to cons kind of sounds really attractive, I'm not gonna lie.
And recently, Magic has had to resort to creating some pop culture collab sets to attempt to bring in new players, and unfortunately, they have been selling pretty well. Overall rating: stinky. Next, the Pokemon TCG.
Yay!
Probably the first game that comes to mind when someone thinks of a TCG. The Pokemon TCG has the ease of being a recognizable franchise. Many of us opened packs of these as children, not knowing the potential value they would hold in the future, and to some of us it was also a gateway drug. When I was in grade school, I would save up my pennies and have Mom take me to the store to buy a single pack, whereas nowadays I scoff at myself if I consider buying anything less than an entire box of packs. The damage is irreversible. Why you shouldn't play it? I'm actually not going to rag on this too hard. The game is pretty cheap to get into. The art is fun, especially some of the recent art has gone really hard. It's currently in a surge of popularity, and you can even just collect them for the art if you like, and the game itself is pretty easy to play and learn as well, as long as you don't mind playing against literal children sometimes. Overall rating,
I mean, I play Fortnite.
Admittedly, still pretty fun.
Yay!
Next, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh.
Another thing that probably comes to mind for a lot of people when basic TCGs are mentioned, and the anime also served as a kind of gateway anime for a lot of us as children, I'm sure, and corrupted us as well.
I really like how this has been presented so far because, again, it's a very non-condescending, brief overview of a lot of TCGs, which I can really appreciate.
Any Dark Magician Girl appreciators, 07's in the chat. Why you shouldn't play it? Unlike the anime might have you believe, the game is a lot less exciting in real life. As opposed to leading an army of great knights and wizards into battle against your opponent, most matches nowadays consist of one side taking a 10-minute turn to build up an unbreakable wall of monsters and traps, and hoping that the opponent surrenders on their next turn, kind of like being a resident of Berlin in 1961. However, if you're here for cool, nerdy art, we can at least help you there. We've got cute girls, cool dragons, and even both of those at the same time.
Yay!
Overall
Oh,
rating,
my
exhausting. Okay, so admittedly, this has sounded more like a list of reasons why you probably shouldn't play TCGs, but I still have a chance to save your mind, and I've saved the best for last. Weiss Schwarz, aka Anime Wars, the card game. Weiss Schwarz is a TCG where every set of cards is from a popular anime or video game, and this leads to some conceptually fucked up situation. Ever wondered what would happen if, say, the girls from Love Live had to face the Titans in battle? What about Hatsune Miku versus Megumin? We've got all that and more. Why you should stay away? Actually, I'm not going to try to deter you from this one. It's the game that I've been playing for the longest, and it's the most enjoyable when you aren't taking it too seriously or sweatily.
That sounds really sick. I didn't even know this was a
The brain power
thing.
required to learn it is somewhere between 0 and fuck. Because all you have to do to deal damage to your opponent is turn your card sideways and hope that the top card of their deck isn't a climax card. No, seriously. And if you thought people hunting for shiny cards in other card games was bad, you haven't seen anything yet. The hardcore fans in this game go extra hard because they can hunt for cards that are hot stamped with their favorite voice actresses' signatures. Like Kana Hanazawa, Rie Takahashi, even fucking VTubers, and more. And the real reason I saved this for last is because I knew this was the part that would completely hook in Allie's attention. Would you happen to want to hunt for cards signed by Freeren's voice actress?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
How about
yes,
Gura?
Yes.
Still
yes,
not
yes.
sold? Okay, fine. Fairy Tale.
Yes.
Done and done.
Yes.
Overall
yes.
rating, expensive. In conclusion,
Yay,
TCGs
money!
are currently experiencing a resurgence in popularity, and I've really only scratched the surface of what's available here. There are many other games focused specifically on things like other media franchises. There's One Piece, there's Digimon, there's games focused around mechs, games focused around fighting game characters, games focused around Disney franchises.
I love being pandered
But at the end of the
to.
day, TCGs are a fun, albeit expensive way to scratch a little bit of an itch, to take a small chance and see some cool art on paper. And remember, life is all about getting that paper.
Yay. Phenomenal. That was great. Thanks for the brief overview of those card games. I really appreciate it. I will give your silly card game a try. I didn't even know it existed before this. What's the next one? Oh God. This is another one of the ones that I knew were gonna get a fucking presentation. I cannot live a single day without seeing some kind of Toho or Fumo mention. Goo-boo. May I suggest you pair it with Toho music? It shouldn't be an issue DMCA-wise. Well, your wish is my command, because we're doing it really well in terms of getting through all these. So I'm gonna do exactly what... Stop it. Stop doing that. Okay. Toho and Fumo Peak Funky. What is Toho? On the 18th of March, 1977, a man was born in the Japanese village of Hakuba by the name of Junyo Ota. Though most people would know him by his pen name Zun. He was interested in video games and music composition from an early age, with him starting to take an interest in developing games himself in high school. He would later attend Tokyo Denki University and graduate with a degree in mathematics. Zun decided that he wanted to make a shoot-'em-up game with a Miko, Shrine Maiden, as the protagonist, and in 1996, Toho Project was born. Also, he really likes beer. I need to slideshow this. It has animations. There we go. Also, flashing lights warning, just in case you guys need it. Yes. Toho Project is a series of Japanese bullet hell shoot-'em-up games published by Dojin Circle Team Shanghai Alice. Zun is ironically the team's only member. Generally, you play as series protagonists. Reimu Hakure, the Hakure Shrine Maiden, an ordinary magician, Marisa Kirisame, though most games in the series have other characters playable too. In general, the games feature side-scrolling gameplay where you must dodge complex danmaku bullet barrage patterns while shooting your own projectiles at enemies and bosses. The games feature simple controls, but are known for being infamously hard. To date, there have been 20 mainline releases spanning nearly 30 years, but the scope of the series have evolved immensely, with many official spin-off fighting games, manga, music CDs, etc. being created for the series by Zun and others. This doesn't even cover a small fraction of all the Toho content out there if you can't fan content, the true lifeblood of the community. I have seen so much porn! Fan content! Basic plotline synopsis. In the world of Toho, supernatural beings such as yokai and various deities exist, with gods deriving their power from belief among followers. The development of human civilization and the advancement of technology posed a threat to the various species of yokai, and as a result, Yukari Yakumo, the yokai of boundaries, created a barrier around a large area of land in Japan, creating the phantasmal world of Gensokyo. Gensokyo is inaccessible from the outside world and cannot be escaped either, unless one happens to stumble in via the Hakure Shrine or enters through a gap created by a certain master of boundaries. Things that disappear or become obsolete in the outside world can also find a new home in Gensokyo. The series contains a powerful cast of debatably insane characters. My personal favorite is the eccentric vampire and sister of the devil Flandre Scarlet. I will not be accepting slander of my daughter. The plots of individual entries in the series revolve around incidents, basically unusual happenings that effects impact the entire balance of Gensokyo and must be solved by one of the main characters. Combat in Toho universe revolves around the spell card system, which was an agreement made to preserve the balance of the Gensokyo, as many characters' abilities are so OP, they could basically destroy the entire world if they tried. Toho power scaling is whack. Fan content. Following the immense success of the series' sixth game, the embodiment of the Scarlet Devil in 2002, the fanbase around the game in Japan, and eventually the rest of Asia and the West, exploded in size. It was ingrained in early internet culture, inescapable if you browsed otaku forums in the 2000s. It could be considered one of the earlier examples of a community largely cultivated online. The fanbase is arguably stronger than ever. Infinite amounts of art, song remixes, fan games and the like being made around Touhou. And many memes. A thriving fanbase making fan content around a series such as art, music, memes, and games is what drives community, and it has no shortage of this thanks to Zune's lax copyright. Based. Much of the fan content is created by doujin circles. They are groups of people who share an interest, usually within otaku culture, who collaborate to create content for said interests such as manga or music remixes and publish them independently. And yes, this does include doujinshi, but get your mind out of the gutter. Bonk. Most of this content is made for specific series, but there are also circles who make original stuff like Zune's Circle. Japan is host to many doujin conventions, with the largest being Comiket, hosted biannually, which Zune is a frequent attender of. What? Wait! What? Go back! Okay, no. Okay. Bad Apple. Ronald McDonald Insanity. These are some things that you may have not known were Touhou. Interesting. Well, you gotta pause it so I can play the video on here. And phenomenal. Things you may have not known were Touhou. Touhou is a very popular series to draw among anime-style artists, so there is a good chance you have stumbled upon fan art without knowing it. Many pieces of media, especially anime and manga and other media related to otaku culture, have made references to Touhou, and many games take influence, with the most notable being Undertale, which you can even hear the inspiration in Toby Fox's composition style. That's so true. I can definitely hear that. You can hear a lot of it. Fumos! Fumo Fumo, usually abbreviated to just Fumo, is a line of plushies mostly based off Touhou project characters manufactured by the company Gift, with their designs being based off the works of doujin circle Angel Type. These plushies are known for their exceptionally cute designs and have become one of the most iconic symbols of the Touhou community, with Fumo Fumo becoming one of its own subculture of the wider Touhou community. Fumos have become the most well-known anime-style plushie online, with Fumo evolving to be a colloquialism for cute anime plushies in general. It is derived from Japanese onomatopoeia mofu mofu, that roughly translates to something fluffy or soft. This is genuinely very informative. I'm learning a lot from this. Angel Type was a Touhou doujin circle that made a series of comics that drew characters in a very cute chibi style. Their signature feature of their style are the semi-ovular eyes. Yes. Most significantly, they drew the popular character Sakuya Izayoi as a chibi wolf girl, dubbed Inusakaya. These comics would catch the attention of plushie manufacturer Gift, who would end up making a plushie prototype of Inusakaya in 2008. And they even put her in a cute box. Later, plushies in the same style were produced for series protagonists Reimu and Marisa, and they were sold out in mere minutes according to legend at that year's Comiket. The success would convince Angel Type, who now go by Royal Cat, and Gift to continue their partnership, producing Fumos for many of the Touhou characters that existed at the time. Oh my god, it's Butchie! They have increased greatly, manufacturing plushies in different sizes and alternate versions of certain characters. The smallest size is the toy strap, which is used as a keychain. Next up are the Manakas double at 40 cm. Okay, and last but not least, the Dekas, which are massive. They also cost a lot, apparently. Recently, Gifts has started producing Fumos for other series in Toho, such as Bochi and Azur Lane. They also made one of the Ponya Cat Ichime from Mahjong Soul. So what this is telling me is that we need Ali Fumo. Fumos have become hard to obtain. In the olden days, to get one outside of Japan, you'd have to deal with a proxy or forwarding service to import one, or just pray one popped up on eBay for less than an arm and a leg. Now you can buy them on AmiAmi with no proxy needed, but they are scarce by design. They sell out quick, and you'll get with high shipping costs. The first time AmiAmi sold Fumos, the Toho fans managed to crash the entire site trying to buy their beloved plushies, and it became the Great Fumo Fiasco. Known in term... the Great Fumo Fiasco, as coined by Obama Joe Mama. There are also many bootlegs for sale very cheap on online merchants like Amazon. And there are still Fumos, but they vary widely in quality, and some debate the ethics of the practice. Damn. I didn't realize they were this rare. Wowee. I like gift themselves or AmiAmi, or if you're on a site like eBay, make sure the provided pictures contain a badge of the character and the plushie has a tag. Some people also take commissions for custom Fumos, which I will probably look into more. The Fumo cult community. They have become the most iconic part of the wider Toho community. They have a cult following and they have so many memes. Online communities such as Fumo have amassed thousands of Fumo enthusiasts. Many people have made YouTube channels where they post comedic skits involving their Fumos. I can understand why. They have become a staple, with many cosplayers choosing to bring Fumos of the character they're cosplaying. Fumos are the funkiest goobers a plushie enthusiast can get their hands on. Generally high quality and based upon a series of characters with a colorful cast of characters spanning nearly 30 years. Fumos make a nice addition to your household, whether you just want to use them to decorate or wish to become as insane as others and I, dedicating a not insignificant portion of your days posting about and discussing them. You have to at least admit that photo of Cerno in the bottle or that video of her riding that Roomba are kind of funny. Free her, man! Conclusion! Why should you get into Toho? Fuck up, wrong slide, my bad. This is not right slide. Toho Project is a long-running series that has cemented itself as one of the community's most ingrained in internet culture, and many creators have been inspired to make genuinely great things thanks to it. Whether you actually play the games, unlike 99% of the community apparently, enjoy the music, like the manga, or few fanimes that this community has somehow produced, Toho offers something for you. The series features a fleshed-out fantasy world with lore perfect to hyperfixate on. While it obviously has its problematic elements like any community, many great people are into Toho, and you can form bonds with them over the shared interest. Sharing something you love with like-minded people should always be what fandom and community are about. Also cute anime women. Fumo, Fumo Fumo, Fumo Fumo, Fumo Fumo Fumo. Also here is Gubu drifting. Oh. Wow. That's amazing. She's so good at it. Oh my god! Look at her go! Can I tell you right now? I gotta tell you right now. People have been trying to get me into Toho for years. But this is the presentation that I think kinda really convinced me to give it another go. Because it's really, like, again, it's not condescending, it's just really nice. I just really appreciate it. Thank you so much. These have been really great presentations so far. I'm very happy with the level of effort that's gone into this. It's very heartwarming to see. Ba-ba-ba-bum, I have only a few presentations left. Only a few. But this has been really fun. Kamen Rider by Giolita Dreamer and my lurker friend Petal. We love lurkers. I'm Giolita, this is my friend Petal, and I asked her to help me. And I was more than willing to help. Aw, that's cute. This is so cute. What is Kamen Rider anyway? Kamen Rider is a series of live-action tokusatsu hero shows that started way back in 1971. Throughout the 50 years that they have been around, there have been many styles and ideas, but they all involve protecting humanity from a monstrous threat, and share themes of justice and cooperation. While each show is quite interesting, it never had much luck out in the West. Even when it did get out, it would often be butchered till it was unrecognizable. The Elephant Zord in the Room. Yes, there are many parallels to be made between Power Rangers, or Super Sentai as it's called in Japan, which makes sense because they were made by the same person, 4 years apart from each other. But there are key differences. As many of us know, growing up on PR, it mainly sticks to a Monster of the Week format. Kamen Rider generally sticks to a long-running plot while making use of MOTW to give the writers something to fight and progress the plot with. This allows Kamen Rider to bear darker tones, and in my opinion makes it more appealing. Huh, I genuinely did wonder about the difference. Both the writers and their long-running foes feel fleshed out, with actual goals and flaws instead of existing purely to advance the plot. Both sides go through fulfilling character arcs, and it's hard not to feel emotions alongside them through their suffering and triumphs. Some of these arcs are about and not limited to overcoming loss, discovering oneself, or how better to work with others. Sometimes you can even have shifting alliances due to these arcs. I find the stories of Kamen Riders to be really interesting, plenty fun heroes and villains. Live action means costumes. They showcase a diverse array of costume designs from cute to intimidating. These designs help express the personality of characters as well as making them stand out in the settings they're in. They tend to keep it simple with 2 to 3 main colors and small costume elements, preventing detail bloating. They also make the fight scenes easy to follow along with, and the well-done martial choreography that these shows feature. This does look a lot phenomenal. Look at that guy go. Look at him fucking go. Kamen Rider has a diverse fighting style, which some, not all actors, actually having proper martial arts training. As you can see, they are very dynamic, with changing camera angles, stunning visual effects, and often witty or use serious banter. More than often than not, victory is achieved through clever use of abilities, mixed with raw might, making for interesting fight choreography. The music is also known for wonderful music. Okay, here, let me see. You said during my own time, but I'm gonna choose some of your personal favorites, because I think that I like that this was a collaborative effort. I find it really cute. Let me play one right here. Ooh. Since there is 50 years worth of content in this franchise, we thought we would get at least 3 recommendations for which to start with some honorable mentions and where you can watch these shows on the next slide. Based. I like when people cite their sources. Kamen Rider Build. First manned mission to Mars was a success, bringing back an artifact that was named Pandora's Box. Its power split Japan into 3 city-states. 5 years later, a brilliant physicist teams up with a framed martial fighter to discover the truth of what was set in motion that day. Kamen Rider W, also said double. Oh, double, okay. Futo, also known as the Windy City, is beset by drug-like machines known as Gaia Memories, turning people into powerful monsters. It falls to a so-called hard-boiled detective and a man who possesses a vast mental archive of the world to discover their source and stop it. Kamen Rider ooze. After 800 years of slumber, embodiments of desire, greed, resurrect themselves, one of which cuts a deal of lifelong traveler who wishes to stop them. In exchange for the metals that make up the bodies of the greed and their minions, the traveler can use the same power against them. Osu? Okay, Osu. Thank you for taking the time to hear us out. Of course, this was very interesting. I did have a very wonderful time. Thank you, thank you. It kind of just seems like the way you presented it made it seem like it's basically Power Rangers, but better. If I can say that. A presentation on Pepsi Man? Oh, this is a video. Okay, I want to learn about Pepsi Man. You don't have to apologize for making a video. All these have been videos so far. Okay. Pepsi Man. It's fine. We will give it a shot. We believe in risk. Me. Literally me. Why you should play Pepsi Man? It's a game? Oh my god, it's a game! I didn't realize it was a game. Pepsi Man is an autorunner game on the Sony PlayStation starring the titular Pepsi Man. It was developed by Key ID, releasing exclusively in Japan on March 4th, 1999. But before we dive deeper, let's go through a brief rundown of who the star of this game is. Pepsi Man's journey started in 1996 as a new marketing campaign for PepsiCo Japan. It was created to rival Coca-Cola's hold on Japan, his father being the renowned Takuya Onuki. It was created with the image of the beloved yet funny superhero in mind. I thought if I could add humor, then Pepsi Man would be loved by everyone. PepsiCo Japan proceeded to hire Lucas Industrial Light and Magic to bring Pepsi Man to life. He would star in commercials from 1996 to 2003, becoming an icon primarily in Japan. He wouldn't be the only thing he showed up on, surprisingly. That's true. We have seen a lot of Pepsi Man. Honestly, Pepsi mogs Coke. I prefer Pepsi to Coke. One piece of Pepsi Man media stands out from the rest.
Hey, let's start the game.
Yeah! Now we gotta play Pepsi Man. This isn't his first video game, like this casino arcade game. They've been largely minor appearances so far. Okay. This PlayStation game is where Pepsi Man truly shines. Pepsi Man is told somewhere people are in need of Pepsi. He then rushes over to aid his ability to quench thirst, but not without getting into some silly situations along the way. The gameplay is simple and sweet. Make it to the end of the stages without being crushed. But not only are you given the optional challenge of collecting 100 Pepsi cans, you have a timer that tells you how quickly you beat the level. There's also one aspect of the game that makes it more engaging. The difficulty. It's short, but you'll be in for a tough time. It ain't no Sekiro. Pepsi Man requires focus and skill. But now you may be thinking, it's a game about Pepsi, how deep can it be? Let's get into the basics. Okay. Pepsi Man has a few moves that help him get through the game. Slide, jump, dash, and brake. While there's a timer, going fast isn't always optimal. Chances are, I did not have access to them. Just letting you know, I am so sorry in advance. Oh, not Pepsi Man again. Okay, there we go. I am a trooper because I believe in celebrating the efforts of the wankies that have gone through making these presentations. Blah. Battle trauma. There are unspeakable horrors outside this sub. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're fighting an uphill battle here because Subnautica fucking terrified me. I heard you're scared of tight spaces in deep water. I've got the game for you. Now that you are either in despair or excited for a role-playing game best described as Watch Your Friends Get Mauled Simulator, warm greetings to the cold depths of the icy moon of Jupiter, Europa, as you'll be having a rational fear of rabies, the color orange, and clowns. Your crew is an entire circus, and that comes with job hierarchy, featuring many exotic life forms like psychopaths, clowns, Artie Doolittle, and many fascinating dangerous marine faunas like cannibal manatee and underwater pit bull. But let's get into the question, what is barotrauma, why are we here, and how can we turn a hostile fauna inside out? It is a 2D side-scrolling game where you roleplay as many different jobs of 6 as a crew member of a submarine vessel with a goal of diving deeper into Europa, as communications from Earth mysteriously vanished since 50 years ago, and colonies established under the ice as the surface is claimed by Todd Howard's Jupiterian Fallout lore. Every submarine is already equipped with some kind of weapon, your choice being what niche answers to your monkey instincts. For example, you want to kill a broodmother? Railgun. A horde of crawlers? Railgun. With a canister shell. God of the Deep? Railgun. With the C4 strapped. Or better yet, the methamphetamine. Job, work, employment. Thank you so much for censoring this. I don't want to trigger anybody. Security officers are for people who play Among Us. Security is misleading because that implies that they actually protect the crew members. Their job is to synthesize and operate any weapon smaller than an elephant. Handcuffs are particularly useful if the other party actually consents, otherwise you'd have to beat them up without them actually dying. Medical doctor resonates with me on a molecular level. Others' mistakes are now your responsibility as you inject them with enough morphine to kill a whale and enough naloxone to reverse the plot of Breaking Bad. Ethics are out of the windows when you're presented with the option of gene tampering. Yes, you can commit heresy in this game by inserting a gene to make people run faster and perhaps suplex ancient alien robots. I can't actually speak of other job as much as I can on medic because my cup of tea is a cup of ethanol. If you think healing isn't as rewarding as hurting, buckle up because chemical warfare is mandatory. Who on the submarine knows about chemicals more than you? You can craft raptor bane extract to disintegrate the insides of an aggressive underwater dog in less than 12 seconds. I don't know if Twitch aroused this, but the F syringe on the right of the meme is actually... okay. You can synthesize it, it's a stronger morphine. And for the assistant, well, their death doesn't count. Just know that their career paths are victim, intern, or clown. Okay. So single player will not allow much chaos because you'll be managing the entire sub. But you can invite 16 players to a single server. This game was coded into... mods are plenty. You can probably turn into Project Zomboid if you try hard enough. Every modded public server comes with enough mod to make your average Skyrim run look tame in comparison. And there are anime mods. I'll not go into details about the monsters as they take time and emotions at their rawest when you first experience them. Yes, this was rushed. I did not check how many minutes the slides would take. You're within time. Okay, it does look like a fun game. If I can ever get over my fear of the deep water, I'll give it a shot. Yes. Whew. That means no? No, it means that I will give it. I will look into the Steam page and look up the stuff. I genuinely did do this to find hobbies. I will get over my fear if it means people don't make fun of me for being scared at the beginning. Okay, we have one more presentation. And it's about an anime that I have seen before, so we will see how accurate it is. Why you should read Tokyo Ghoul. Prepare for a heavy yap session. The main character, Ken Kaneki. Ken Kaneki is that character that I would defend and fight for hours on end. His character and psychology through Tokyo Ghoul is not only thoroughly explored, but his character conceptually is very explored. As we read, the series gives us deep insights into the changes of his thought process, actions, and resolve with each event that he goes through. His whole role in the narrative and his psychology is deeply intertwined as the story progresses, in which he gives many internal and external conflicts for the reader to enjoy. Kaneki is such a human character emotionally, so much so to the point that it would be hard not to feel a connection with him. Tokyo Ghoul pushes on many boundaries. However, it's because of this that the impact Kaneki has when we see shifts in his demeanor, personality, or even overall outlook causes a deep and emotional connection that I cannot help but simply applaud. This section I would like to just take a moment and talk about the art and paneling within Tokyo Ghoul, how mesmerizing I find it. It is absolutely beautiful. There are certain big moments where the art beautifully carries the full weight of the dialogue within the panels, enhancing the moment for the character and overall enjoyability of the read. The author is able to draw his art with a full conviction of the dialogue within the panels, masterfully conveying the emotions and weight of the moment. That is very gorgeous. That is very gorgeous. Were you convinced by my presentation to build a keyboard? I've always been wanting to get it, but it kind of just gave me... It kind of gave me a reason to not keep making excuses, because you mentioned how, you mentioned a really easy way to, get into it. So I will probably start doing that. Also because my current keyboard is really crusty. I've had it for several years. This is so gorgeous. The characters of Tokyo Ghoul, I believe, hold the same similar complexities and deep explorations as Kaneki, and play for an important and significant role in the progress and development of the story. As the exploration of these characters result in different viewpoints shaped by circumstances they've been through, an absolutely beautiful character conclusion arises for them, and we find out how their motives, intentions, ideals, wishes may have changed, allowing greater influence portrayed by each character's role in the story. Along with this, many character moments serve as an important impact upon the narrative, shaping new viewpoints in the world of Tokyo Ghoul. The characters are simply nothing short but top tier, with their arcs coming full circle by the end of the story. One of the main themes of the story and entire narrative is the constant reinvention of ourselves through the experiences that we go through, and shifts in the ideals that we hold. Damn. This instance can be represented in the hair changes of Kaneki, which might sound silly, but it makes sense in the context and timeline of the story. I don't think it's silly. Visual representations of transformation are very important, just as important as the narrative itself. As the shifts in his hair are a symbolism reflective of the message of his character and changes in perspectives, it leads to the constant reinvention of Kaneki, as the personality he holds also changes drastically. His hair shifts, his psychology and mentality also changes. In many ways, his moral compass shifts entirely. While he becomes more reliant in the strength he holds, as in every case he desperately seeks power to protect the ones he loves. This within itself consumes him and leads to fatal failures. But no matter what state he was left in, Kaneki always found a way to reinvent himself enough to challenge whatever he was facing. In conclusion, if you are interested in a long story with lots of interesting character dynamics, explorations of the human condition and the complexity of it, that also ties into beautifully crafted art with amazing ends for important characters, I think Tokyo Ghoul would be an amazing experience for you. It is very gorgeous, and I can definitely see exactly what you mean. I need to finish reading Tokyo Ghoul. I need to finish reading Tokyo Ghoul. Thank you so much for the presentation, and with that, unfortunately, I must wrap up for the evening. This was very, very nice. I honestly really appreciated this moment that I shared with the community. It was really nice. There will likely be a YouTube video about this at some point. I'm very, very grateful for this. And as always, have a good rest of your night. We're gonna find somebody to raid now.